The following is a presentation of Born Braves Baseball, the 2009 Cape Cod League champions.
The 2021 season was a year of unprecedented success for the Born Braves.
Swing and a miss, strike three, and the Born Braves are off to a perfect 5-0 start in 2021.
Oh my goodness, the Braves do it again! Win number 20 in the most dramatic fashion.
0-1 and Wallace sends it driving to left field. The Braves have won it!
After a 24-9-3 regular season earned the Bravos the President's Trophy, the Braves battled all the way to the CCBL Championship Series.
Swing and a miss! For the first time since 2017, the Born Braves punched their ticket to the big dance.
But the team came up just 2 games short.
Brewster defeats Born in the championship series of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Now, as the calendar flips to 2022, a slew of fresh faces come to Doran Park, including the man in charge.
The Born Braves have hired Scott Landers as the team's new field manager.
And with him comes just one returning star.
Smacked into right center, that's gonna get down. The 4th RBI for Joshua Moylan.
But that doesn't mean the Braves aren't loaded from top to bottom.
This one taken high and deep to left. Is that gonna get out of here? Jumping up, it's gone!
And swings, broken bat, lofted into right field. That's gonna fall for a base hit. Swing and a miss, strike three.
It's a brand new full season of Born Braves baseball, and it starts right now.
After an offensive explosion last night in Kituit, the Born Braves return to Doran Park here at home as they take on the Orleans Firebirds for the third time this season, second time here at Doran Park. Welcome to the broadcast booth. Max Tanzer joined alongside Calvin Cristoforo. And Calvin, a breath of fresh air yesterday. Not only did we get 12 runs pushed across by the Braves offense, but they broke the tie streak of 3 consecutive ties in a row.
It's always good when one team scores more runs than the other, and it's even better when the Braves are the team that scores the more runs. And last night they left no doubt a 12-7 trouncing of Kituit. The game was actually more wide open than that. The Kettleers pushed across 2 runs in the bottom of the ninth to make a 12-5 deficit go to 12-7. But it was an unprecedented offensive outburst last night. Matt Shaw, 4 for 5, 2 home runs, 2 doubles, 6 RBIs. You can't expect that to happen on any given night, but the rest of the Braves offense around that stepped up. Josh Moylan with a 325-foot foul pole ringing home run, a 3-run shot that put the Braves up 5-0 in that game. So it was really an a la carte night for the Braves offense as you look to emulate that against the New Orleans team they've already gotten twice this year.
Absolutely, and with that win against Kituit, they now trail the Kettleers by 8 points for first place. An opportunity tonight to gain some ground on Hyannis as well. If Hyannis loses and the Braves win, they can enter tomorrow at McKeon Park, a matchup just 1 point behind. But they got to focus on tonight, of course, an Orleans team that has struggled mightily offensively over the last week or so.
Yeah, the Firebirds have gone through a little bit of a rough patch. 5 of their last 6 games, they have scored 2 runs or less. They're averaging just about a run and a third over their last 6 contests. Back-to-back losses, really tough games against Falmouth. Last night, a tough loss at home. So they're trying to break the limp they're in right now after getting off to above 500 start. They're now just 9-11 with a couple of ties thrown in.
It'll be a familiar face on the mound for the Firebirds tonight, Kyle Carr, who they saw the last time these two teams faced on June 24th. For the Braves, it'll be Ryan Fisher, who we saw in relief at Wareham back last Sunday. That's going to be it for us for now, but make sure to stay tuned. We have the fastest 15 minutes in baseball coming up with Before the Bravos with Ethan Frank and Mac Friday right after this.
43 of the Braves' 44 regular season games this summer will take place on the Cape, but for the first time ever on July 25th, Polar Park, home of the Worcester Red Sox, will host a Cape Cod League game when the Bravos take on the Wareham Gatemen at 6:45. Gates open at 5:45, and admission is $10 to watch the Braves take on a West Division rival on an even greater stage.
The Braves are the reigning champs of the Cape Cod League West Division, but the West in 2022 is loaded again and as wild as ever. With 6 games against Hyannis, Wareham, Falmouth, and West Division runner-up Katuitt, it's a packed slate against division foes thirsty for revenge. To check out where and when the division matchups go down, head to our website, bornbraves.org, and check out the Bravos' full schedule.
After COVID-19 canceled the 2020 season and shortened 2021, this year will be the first since 2019 with a full 44-game schedule and an 8-team playoff. That means you can catch the Braves squaring off with each team in the West 6 times and each team in the East 4 times. It's a jam-packed slate for the Braves in 2022, and you can check out the squad's complete schedule on our website, bornbraves.org. First pitch is right around the corner. Now back to Before the Bravos, the official Born Braves pregame show.
Welcome to Before the Bravos. Mac Friday's pumped up, and I know all of you are. We're back at Doran Park. Mac, it's your favorite day of the week.
Best day of the week. TGIMF. Thank God it's Mac Friday. welcome to Doran Park, ladies and gentlemen.
At what age did you come up with TGIMF?
I don't recall. It hasn't been that long, to be honest.
Feels like it would be a lifelong thing.
If maybe I was a little more creative as a youngster, maybe.
All right.
I wasn't that creative.
Well, thank God it's Friday. Thank God the Braves scored some runs
Oh,
last night.
my goodness. Thank God. 12 runs on 12 hits. Home run fest. Matt Shaw, sicko mode. 2 doubles, 2 home runs, 6 ribbies. Oh, my goodness, what a guy. And that's not even the best performance you've seen from him in person.
No, apparently it was not. He had to correct me after the game to remind me that, yes, now I'm remembering the details. Last year we were playing a doubleheader, and Matt Shaw led off the first game of the doubleheader with a home run, 7-inning doubleheader, hit 3 home runs in 8 innings. Led off game 1 with a home run, second at bat of that first game hit a home run, and then led off game 2 with a home run as well. So 3 home runs in 8 innings.
Wow. That's pretty incredible.
Yeah,
I guess you can count that as 3 home runs and compared to yesterday.
I think that's how you would count it. But I think we really need to take a deep dive into the season he's having, because it is almost an MVP. I don't know if it's a league MVP type season right now with where the Braves are in the standings, but he is 100% Bourne's MVP, and I don't know where the Bravos would be without him.
Absolutely not. And he is second in league batting average, just 1 single point behind Brooks Baldwin of Katuitt, who we saw last night as well. And then just 1 home run behind Alex Freeland, who is with the Brewster Whitecaps in the lead, 4 home runs in the league. He is 6th in RBI. So in every major statistical offensive category, he is there. He is inevitable. He is going to make an impact, whether it is a game where he strikes out 4 times and then that 1 extra at bat, he hits a home run, he hits a single, he hits a double for an RBI, something of the sort. He will make an impact. He is undeniable. His second quarter was pretty solid. You'll see in Best of the Bravos quarter 2 coming out pretty soon here. Matt Shaw is my MVP of the quarter. 12 hits and 47 at-bats for an average around 250. And, yeah, that's a little underwhelming when you look at the average. But you also have to realize this is a guy who's played over 135 innings of baseball at 3 different defensive positions, and he has not made a single defensive error. He has been incredible in that regard, incredible in the batter's box. Only 8 strikeouts in 11 games in that quarter, so not the greatest in terms of almost a strikeout a game, but still 6 stolen bases to make up for that. He is contributing in every single part of the baseball game, except for pitching. If you put him on the mound, he'd probably pitch well too.
So what else can you tell us about these behind the quarter 2 rankings?
So I'll just spoil it all for you right here.
Just a little tease.
So it's my quarterly awards for MVP of the quarter. That's a new addition. Recently it was just hitter, defender, starter, reliever. I'll give you a hint. The starter and reliever of the quarter in quarter 2 attend the same university. I will say that.
I got an idea.
Yeah, you got an idea. The listeners and watchers at home have an idea, as well as the hitter is not the MVP. The MVP won it alone, and that is Shaw. The hitter and the defender are two completely different players. And I had to diverse those awards a little bit, spread those around, because I could have just given them both to Matt Shaw.
Well, let's talk about tonight's starting pitcher as well, and I can confirm he will not win the award because he is the only person on this roster from the New Jersey Institute of Technology, and that's Ryan Fisher, who provided a really good relief appearance on Sunday in Wareham that led him to be our player of the game that night. A scoreless relief outing and really held things together and made the Gatemen squander a lot of opportunities in that game.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ethan. He was the starter of the quarter in the first quarter with Best of the Bravos. Ryan Fisher, he's been tremendous. He's the kind of guy that if he sticks around for the rest of this entire season for the Bravos, he will consistently be a starter. He is a guy who will start playoff games, and he will also come out of the pen if necessary. He's that guy, if it's in a Game 7 and you have him available,
There's no
a game 3.
A game three.
If you're in a Game 3 here in a potential playoff series and you have him available, he is a guy you bring out of the pen if you don't start him. He is so valuable for this Braves team. He has limited hits, limited runs in all of his appearances as well, and he's just an excellent guy as well. Really fun guy to talk to about pitching overall.
Yeah, and Fisher's going to try and lead the Braves to their third win of the season tonight against the Orleans Firebirds. I talked about it with Max and Calvin on our pregame edition of Tomahawk Talk, that if the Braves win or tie tonight, they take the season series from the Firebirds, having already won the first two matchups, one on the road and one here at Doran Park.
Well, they've outscored the Firebirds 12-4 in both of the matchups at Eldridge and here at Doran. And you got to take a look back to that first game, that 8-2 explosion of offense. The first time we ever really saw this offense run wild. The first Brito bomb of the year, Chris Brito spanked one over the left field wall for 444 feet. Exit velocity through the roof, his first home run of the year. Matt Shaw had 2 singles and 2 doubles in that second game.
That was his first game of the season.
First game of the season was here at Doran Park.
No, it was at Eldridge Park.
Okay, what I meant was Game 2 here at Doran. Right. He had 2 singles and a double, and 3 for 4 in that appearance. Pretty good job from him. And then their Bravos scored 3 runs on sacrifice flies in that 4-2 victory when we came back to Doran to face the Firebirds. So we're back here again against the Firebirds. Firebirds in a really bad offensive slump, hitting below the Mendoza line, below 200 as a team, one of the worst team batting averages on the Cape. They are in a deep offensive rut. I've talked to the Firebirds beat reporter Jack Loader plenty, and they need to get going. He, as a writer, is miserable writing about a team that doesn't have any offense.
Well, you could give him some tips because you've got a lot of experience.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But I think I have a feeling we're going to see some runs tonight, maybe on Bourne's side more than Orleans' side, because the wind is blowing out to left field. It is a hot, a steamy night, and as the temperatures have risen over the last couple of weeks, so has run production throughout the entire league. So speaking of the entire league, Mac, it's something I know you've all been waiting for at home. It is finally our official ballpark rankings. We finally went to Hyannis on Wednesday. We're going back there tomorrow, but I'm ready to reveal mine, and I know you're ready as well.
I'm certainly ready. I mean, you saw me warming up the hands here. I'm ready to go.
All right.
How do you want to do this? Do you want to do 10 all the way up for each of us, or do you want to go down?
We did it in tiers.
Okay, so let's do tiers.
I did rankings within the tiers.
All right.
So
all right.
let's just do tiers.
Let's
start with the top tier.
Top tier is what I call the elite tier. The 2 elite ballparks, number 1 and number 2 respectively, are Chatham, Veterans Field, and Eldridge Park in Orleans.
All right, my top tier is just Chatham. It's the elite of the elite. Veterans Field is in a class of its own. There's just something about Eldridge Park. I know you're a fan of a team that has a Mickey Mouse left field porch. I'll say it. Eldridge Park has a Mickey Mouse left field porch. It's not very far, and also center field there is an absolute joke.
I'm a big fan of obscure dimensions, and I'm also a big fan of lawn seating, which they have plenty of at Orleans. That's why it's in the elite tier for me.
Okay. All right, if you say so. I just think nothing competes with Veterans Field. I'll start with Tier 2, and in Tier 2, I've got 4 ballparks. We're going to start with White House Field out in Harwich. We didn't go there on the nicest day, but you can just tell the playing surface at White House Field is easily one of the best, if not the best, in the entire league. Then I've got Lowell Park, where we just were last night. I mean, the atmosphere at Katuitt, the strength of their fans is off the charts. Really nice bleachers, and just everything about Katuitt is really strong, really good bullpens as well.
Absolutely.
I think that's underrated, is how good the bullpen situation is. And Katuitt has really good bullpens. Number 4, I've got right here, Doran Park, the home of the Bravos. The playing surface is good. It's completely fenced in, lawn seating, just like you said, Mac. Pretty much the entire stadium is lawn seating. I really like Doran Park as well. And then rounding out tier number 2 is Eldridge Park, just as you said, which I gave my critiques about before. How about your second tier?
So my second tier, the good tier, has 3 ballparks. That's White House Field in the 3rd spot, Katuitt, Lowell Park in the 4th spot, and then Red Wilson Field in Yarmouth Dennis in the 5th spot. I'm a big fan, like you said, of lawn seating, but they also have some stands at Red Wilson Field. Katuitt, beautiful ballpark, does nothing extra. Trees, press box, bullpens, field, stands, beautiful. And then Harwich, like you talked about, I completely agree with everything that you said. So for me, it's Chatham, Orleans, Harwich, Katuitt, YD, the top 5.
Here's my problem with Red Wilson Field. I am a huge stickler for having the entire field closed in.
Okay.
Those bleachers are just way too close to the out-of-play line.
I think it's unique.
Okay,
I think
it's unique, but also center field is 355 feet away.
It is a wiffle ball field. I will give you that. It is a wiffle ball field. Anyways, let's move on. I'll go to the next tier. The average tier for me starts with Bourne in the 6th slot. 7 is Falmouth. 8 is Hyannis. We made our first trip to Hyannis. I actually really like the aesthetics of Hyannis.
I agree.
It's deep into a little bit of a valley.
I agree.
You're right on the water. You got the boat horns. It's a cool ambiance to it at all times, I would say. I'm not the biggest on Gov Fuller Field.
Yeah, the backdrop is just not great there.
But I like the concessions. I like the people.
The
dugouts are fantastic. I have them at 7, Bourne at 6, Hyannis at 8.
All right. I've got Gov at number 6. Just the dugouts do it for me, and the environment there is really, really strong. Stony Brook Field, a field we have not mentioned at number 8. I know there are critiques about it, but it's entirely fenced in. The bullpen situation isn't bad, and you get outfield seating. I think outfield seating is a little bit underrated.
That is important.
Number 8, McKeon Park in Hyannis, where we were on Wednesday and where it will be tomorrow night. You basically said everything there is. And then I've got Red Wilson Field at 9. I'm just not really a fan. The fans there are great. I'm just not a fan of the dimensions and really the fencing there.
Absolutely.
And that leaves number 10, where we both have.
Oh, I have 9 and 10 in my dump
Number
tier.
10 is in my last tier.
9 is Brewster, Stony Brook, like we just mentioned. And then dead last, I know we're on the same page with this, Spillane Field, Wareham.
Yep.
Not much to say about it besides that it is rocky, it is gravelly, it's just very metally. It's metallic. It's like a giant cage with stands. I am not a fan of it. Yeah, there's really not much more to say about Spillane.
All right, quick predictions before we have to go for tonight's game.
Let's go Bravos 6-1.
I was going to say 6-3 in favor of the Bravos. So there you have it. That's before the Bravos. We'll catch you tomorrow in Hyannis. Enjoy the game.
First, Rick Emerson, and at 3rd, Mickey Garcia. Fans, at this time, we ask you to please rise as you are able and remove your caps for the performance of tonight's national anthem. Joining the players on the field tonight are participants from this week's youth clinics. Performing tonight's anthem are Shay Riley and Kyle Rieke.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rent the land, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star
gentlemen, Shea Riley and Kyle Reefy.
For the 11th straight season, you can catch Cape Cod League Baseball on WEEI. The station will be home to 12 Cape League contests on the station's local affiliate 96.3 FM. The Braves will be on the airwaves twice in the regular season, first on July 3rd when the Bravos are in Wareham, and then on July 31st when Bourne welcomes Falmouth to Doran Park. Catch the Braves on live radio, but you can always watch or listen to the team live on the Bourne Braves YouTube channel. Just search Bourne Braves.
As a proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League, the Mass State Lottery is celebrating the games we love playing. From the baseball diamond to the many lottery games that help support all 351 cities and towns across the Commonwealth. So here's to 50 years of winning and 50 more.
Live baseball every night. It's another summer on Cape Cod.
Another pleasant evening for baseball as we're just about ready to get underway and say play ball here at Doran Park as the Bourne Braves take on the Orleans Firebirds for the third time this season, looking for their third win of the year against the Firebirds as well. The Braves offense was spectacular yesterday, winning 12-7, beating Cotuit for the first time in 2022 as the Braves now trail the Kettleers for 8 games in first place in the Western Division. They'll look to gain some ground once again tonight, but they'll have to set down the lineup of the Orleans Firebirds. Let's take a look at that starting 9. Announced by manager Kelly Nicholson. Leading things off will be Travis Honeyman in center field, who has had the Braves numbers so far this year. Nate Furman, the second baseman, will follow him. Luke Keishel, the first baseman, will hit third. Kevin Sim, the third baseman out of the University of San Diego, will clean things up. Isaac Humphrey, the right fielder, will bat fifth. Austin Knight will follow at short, batting sixth. Jack Bulger, the DH, will hit seventh. Jacob Stinson, eighth in left field. And Connor Burns will round out the 9 behind the plate. On the mound for the Braves tonight, it's going to be 6'3" right-hander Ryan Fisher, who was stellar in relief against the Gatemen in his last outing, but will be getting the nod for his third start of the year.
Yeah, he was really good last time out on the road against Wareham. 2 2/3 innings of work, allowed 3 hits, no runs, did walk a batter, punched out 2 guys. But when you think about Ryan Fisher, you think about his performance last time he was here at Doran Park a couple Sundays ago, a 5-inning no-hitter before he was lifted in that game. And the Braves blew the lead in the back half of that ball game. That game tied 2-2, but Fisher was excellent. No hits, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts in 5 innings.
We welcome you guys into the broadcast booth here at Doran Park. Max Tanzer joined alongside Calvin Cristoforo as we're just about ready for Game 24, the 2022 Cape Cod League season flying as we are about ready to say play ball. Here comes Travis Honeyman to lead things off against Fisher. Honeyman has had the Braves' numbers so far this summer, 5 for 8 with a home run. That home run was in his first at-bat back over in Orleans, back just about a month ago. Coming into tonight, 7th in the league in hitting at .311. As the first pitch is popped up, foul territory. Frick the catcher will watch it fly out of play over our heads as the count moves to no balls and 1 strike. And Calvin Honeyman was a guy who was consistently at the top of the batting leaders in terms of average, but is now 2 for his last 18. The average now down to .311.
Yeah, but this guy loves hitting against the Braves. You mentioned his numbers, 5 for 8, 2 home runs. 1 home run, 2 doubles, 2 runs scored, and an RBI. Every time he faces the Bravos, he is locked in and ready to go.
0-1, swing and a miss on a fastball elevated up and out of the zone. Count moves to no balls and 2 strikes on Honeyman. He was 0 for 5 yesterday in what was a 6-2 loss for the Firebirds against Falmouth. So they are now 9-11-3 on the year. They've lost 2 in a row, currently sitting in 3rd place in the Eastern standings as they trail Yarmouth Dennis atop of the East. Fisher comes set, looking for a good start here. His 0-2 is just a bit upstairs. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. Since the 4-2 loss for these Firebirds against the Braves on June 21st, make that June 24th, they are 4-6-2. And over their last 6 games, just 1-4-1. That one win, a 1-0 victory against Chatham. 1-2, swinging another pop-up third base side out of play. Count holds at 1 ball and 2 strikes. And this was a Firebirds team at one point when the Braves first saw them, was off to a pretty good start, and it seems like there's been a ton of fluctuation in both the Eastern standings and the middle of the Western standings. Again, Cotuit has had a pretty good strong hold on first place throughout the entirety of the season so far, but even the Kettleers starting to fall a little bit. His Hyannis looms up on them. 1-2, swing and a miss for strike 3. Good start for Fisher as he punches down Honeyman for out number 1. With that, let's take a look at the rest of the starting defense tonight for these Braves. Left to right in the outfield will be Evan Slight, Carson Rockefort, and Carson Jones making his Braves debut this evening. Brendan Malone back at the hot corner. It'll be John Peck and Matt Shaw up the middle. Chris Brito at first base, and Tomas Frick will do the catching. Here comes Nate Furman, the second baseman, to the plate here. Came in as a pinch hitter yesterday, drew a walk, and scored a run. In what was almost another shutout for this Orleans offense. They've already been shut out twice in the last week. As the first pitch is in there for a strike. They were shut out through the first 8 innings against Falmouth last night, pushed across 2 runs in that bottom of the 9th inning. And how about Falmouth as of late? We've continued to talk about it. Now 9-12-2 on the year, 4-5-1 in their last 10. So this pitch is swung on and smoked it to the alley in right center field. This one's going to get down and roll all the way to the wall. Furman rounding first, heading for 2, making a wide turn around 3. He's going to turn on the Jets. Here's Shaw's relay throw from right center field. It's not in time. There's a 1-out triple for Nate Furman, who entered tonight 1 for his last 15, looking to get going, and a good start for these Firebirds. Runner 90 feet away with 1 down.
Yeah, Rockefort that time was shading a little bit to the opposite field, so he was in the left center field gap, and Furman roped it into the right center field gap. That left Jones, the newest Brave out there in right, having to retrieve it all the way against the Franklin Sports sign in right center field. And with the speed of Furman, a guy who can swipe a bag for this Firebirds lineup, he turned on the Jets and cruised into third. That was an easy triple. He slid, but just for dramatic flair, he could have gone in there standing, no problem.
So here's Luke Keischel, the first baseman. 5th leading hitter in the league, leader in average on the team as he takes a fastball for a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. He's been one of the most productive batters in this lineup, right next to Travis Honeyman. 3 homers, 7 RBIs. Leads the team in hits with 26. Has some swing and miss in his game as well, at top of the team with 25 punch-outs. 0-1. Breaking ball bites the outside corner. Count moves to 0-2. And Ryan Fisher, we talked about it a little bit on the pregame show, was almost excelling when under pressure his last time out last Sunday against the Gatemen over at Spillane Field. A couple of opportunities with the go-ahead runs in scoring position, got a couple of big double plays. This one is skied into right center field. Carson Jones being tested early. He's there in the alley and makes the catch. Tagging from third is Furman. The throw of the plate will be cut off as the Firebirds strike first, 1-0. Here in the bottom of the first inning as Keischel picks up RBI number 8 on the year.
That's why I love the decision to try to stretch that into a triple from Furman. And it wasn't really a tough decision because he, like I said, probably would have been in there standing up, because it creates the opportunity for Orleans to drive on a run while getting out on the same play. That time a fly ball lifted deep enough into right field. Jones got under it, but his throw was nowhere near in time. Would have been very tough regardless of who the runner was at third base. Furman just cruises home, 1-0 Orleans.
First pitch to Kevin Sim is in there for a strike on the outside corner. 0-1 the count. So this offense looking to get something going. 5 times in their last 6 games, they have been limited to 2 runs or less. We mentioned also 2 shutouts in that span as the 0-1 is skied out to deep left field. Evan Slight trailing back towards the track at the wall. This one is gone. Kevin Sim launches his 5th home run of the season, putting him in the Cape Cod League leaderboards, tied for first as that doubles the Orleans lead. It's 2-0 here in the top of the first inning.
Kevin Sim is seeing red. His 2nd home run against the Bravos this season. Entered tonight's game on a 4-game hitting streak. Now he's 8 for his last 16. Got a slider up in the zone, and he just lifted it out to left field. And with the wind blowing back out to left, where it usually is here at Doran Park, he got enough air under that one to put it into the Braves bullpen. So a triple, a sac fly, and now a long home run. Orleans has to be feeling pretty good about themselves, especially with the offensive struggles. Averaging just a run and a third of a run over their past 6 contests. Looks like they're seeing Fisher well here tonight.
1-0. Humphrey puts a charge in this one deep down the right field line. Jones trailing back towards the track at the wall, reaches up, off his glove and over the wall and gone. Back-to-back jacks for the Firebirds. Isaac Humphrey joins the party, his first homer on the Cape, as that gives Orleans a 3-0 lead. So for the second time in the last 3 home games at Doran Park, an opposing offense has gone back-to-back on back-to-back pitches against a Braves pitcher. It was Cade Grundy against Falmouth back last Saturday where the same instance happened. And that was a tough play for Carson Jones right there, going out to that deep right center field that jets out quite quickly. And again, reached up and simultaneously hit the wall. And this was just out of his reach for the home run.
Nobody hits home runs out there. I've never seen a home run hit down there in the corner by Froggy's pole, and Jones put a glove on it, off his glove, which is on the other side of the fence anyway, but he couldn't hold on to it, and it's a home run.
Austin Knight pops this in the shallow center. Carson Roccaforte has it played perfectly, as that will retire the side. But not before the Firebirds. They sent 6 men to the plate, bring across 3 on 2 home runs from Kevin Sim and Isaac Humphrey. The Braves have some work to do. They scored 12 last night. Can they at least get to 3? We'll see. Bottom of the first coming up. Braves coming to the dish for the first time tonight when we return.
You know what Pete Alonso, Kevin Youkilis, and Lou Merloni all have in common? Go ahead, take a guess. Yeah, that's right. They're all former Bourne Braves. The list of famous Bravo alumni is lengthy and it's growing fast. Take 2021 Major League Baseball first overall pick Henry Davis, for example. He was on the Cape just 3 summers ago, back in 2019. So make sure you don't miss out on watching the future stars of tomorrow today. Admission to all games at Doran Park and around the Cape Cod League is free. For the full Braves schedule, head to the Bravos team website, bournebraves.org.
Did you know it takes $150,000 to field the Braves every summer? We are a non-profit, all-volunteer organization that relies solely on the donations of private citizens and local businesses. The Bourne Braves are a 501c organization, and all donations are tax deductible. You can donate today online at bournebraves.org.
This is Wyatt Hensler, infielder from Pennsylvania, and this is Bourne Baseball.
Offense has been aplenty the last 2 nights after Katuitt and Bourne combined for 5 long balls yesterday at Lowell Park. These Orleans Firebirds jump out of the gate with back-to-back jacks off the bat of Kevin Sim and Isaac Humphrey. The Braves look to emulate that here. Let's take a look at their starting 9 tonight, sent out by manager Scott Landers. Leading off in right field will be Carson Jones, making his Braves debut, followed by Matt Shaw, who was just tremendous yesterday, drove in 6 runs. Chris Breeder will bat third, followed by Evan Slight cleaning things up. Wyatt Hensler will hit 5th, Brennan Malone 6th. Carson Roccaforte in center will hit 7th, John Peck 8th, and Tomas Frick round out the 9 against Kyle Carr, who the Braves have seen this year. This will be his 3rd start of the summer, 5th outing in total.
And I'll tell you this, is nothing better than walking out onto the mound with a 3-0 lead to begin the ball game. But the Braves got to Carr a little bit the last time these 2 teams met. He took the loss in the Braves' 4-2 win against Orleans here at Doran Park last week. Allowed 2 earned runs, 4 hits, walked the batter, only struck out 2 men.
First pitch to Carson Jones. He shows bunt, pulls back, takes a strike over the heart of the plate. 0-1 the count. Jones just added to the roster today, was a late addition to the lineup. It was initially supposed to be Elijah Nunez who was scratched late. Jones, a product of Virginia Tech, had a really good year for them this year in a limited sample size. Hit .327, 8 homers, 23 RBIs in just under 20 games. Slugged .800 with an OPS of 1.239. So battled with some injuries, but when he was healthy, he was swinging it. So the 0-2 is caught on and missed for strike 3. Good start for Carr. 3 pitches, 3 strikes. Jones down on strikes for out number 1. With that, let's take a look at the starting defense tonight for Orleans that'll man behind Carr this evening. Left to right in the outfield, Jacob Stinson, Travis Honeyman, and Isaac Humphrey. Kevin Sim, who we saw launch a ball out to deep left field, will play third base. Austin Knight and Nate Furman man up the middle. Luke Keishel at first, and Connor Burns will be your backstop. Here's the man of the last 24 hours, Matt Shaw, who easily had the best singular offensive performance from a Brave this year. 4 for 5, 2 homers, 2 doubles, 6 RBIs, 12 total bases, everything the other way. As he taps the 1-0 foul straight back, the count will even up at 1-1.
And even his ground ball out to third base was hit relatively hard. So everything this guy hit yesterday was a bullet. The 2 home runs and the 2 doubles were all line drives. The one that impressed me most was his second home run, because that was just a laser. 370 feet on a ball that never got more than 15 feet above the ground.
1-1 is pop foul first base side. And again, that snapped an 0 for 10 skid, which we hadn't seen any sign of weakness offensively from Matt Shaw this entire summer. So he comes in 0 for 10, and his first at-bat launches a ball over the right center field wall for a home run. All right, you think he's back. And he says, I'll one-up you. A hustle double to left center. Then a bases-loaded ground rule double to right center. And you're thinking, that's a good day right there. We'll take that. And then he caps it, of course, with another home run out to right field for his second of the day. He now has 4 homers on the season, 12 RBIs. Both lead the team. He's now hitting .355 as well, which is good for second in the Cape Cod League. 1-2 is on the outside corner for strike 3. Fantastic start for Kyle Carr as he punches out back-to-back spatters to open up his night.
First baseman, number 28, out of Rutgers.
So Shaw
Brito.
just chasing Brooks Baldwin for the league lead in hitting, and Baldwin leads him by just a tenth of a point at .356 compared to Shaw, who entered tonight at .355. Here's Chris Brito. He's been heating up. First pitch is taken down low. Brito in the midst of a 5-game hitting streak. He's 6 for 19 in that span. Average up now to .225, has 2 homers, 10 RBIs. Drove in 2 with a double back in yesterday's game as well. So the next pitch is taken down in for ball 2. And you mentioned it a lot in the broadcast yesterday, Calvin. The middle, or I should say the 2, 3, and 4 spots in that lineup. They were 7 for 12 yesterday with 2 homers and drove in 9 of the 12 runs. Hitters count for Brito 2-0. Here's Carr's pitch. Swinging a hard ground ball to short, fielded on a couple of hops by the shortstop in Knight. He'll step across and throw over in time to retire Brito to retire the side as well. So Kyle Carr, after getting 3 runs of run support in the top of the first inning, sets down the Braves in order 1-2-3 here in the bottom of the first. Top of the second coming up, just getting underway here at Doran Park. Firebirds lead it 3-0.
Feeling lucky? Head over to the 50-50 table at Doran Park and play everyone's favorite ballpark game of chance. A different list of prizes are available every home game, and of course, half the pot is always up for grabs. Take it from me, my family played the 50-50 last season and won a gift certificate to a local ice cream shop, and I can tell you firsthand it was delicious. Check out the list of prizes over at the 50-50 table next to the concession stand and play the 50-50 today, because I'm sure there's a prize for you.
For the first time since 2019, the Cape Cod League All-Star Game is back. On Saturday, July 23rd at 6:45, the best players on Cape will come together in Wareham and duke it out in an East Division versus West Division clash. In 2021, the Braves had a league-leading 9 All-Stars, but they weren't able to shine in the mid-season showcase. But now the game is back, and it will include your favorite Braves stars, as well as the best talent from around the Cape.
Now back to Bourne Braves baseball.
Top half of the second inning, Ryan Fisher out for his second inning of work, and will look to get into a groove here after facing 6 batters in the top of the first, allowing 3 runs on 3 hits, 2 of those long balls, home runs from Sim and Humphrey. And for a right-hander who was averaging just under 2 runs per every 9 innings, not what we're used to seeing after allowing 2 home runs in that top of the first.
He got roughed up. Orleans hit him relatively hard. The triple by Furman in the gap started it. Then a sac fly by Keishel. Kevin Sim got one up into the jet stream out to left field. Then a hooking home run down the line by Humphrey. And quickly an inning that went from striking out Orleans' best hitter and Travis Honeyman finished with Fisher allowing 3 earned runs.
And after just seeing 1 homer here at Doran Park from either a visiting or a home team over the first couple of weeks, it seems like with the snap of a finger, balls are leaving the yard left and right. Of course, we saw Josh Moylan pick up the first homer of the season back about a week and a half ago against Harwich, and since then we've seen Falmouth blast a couple out back-to-back. Orleans, the same story. Jack Duffy left the yard once. So the next pitch is on the outside corner for strike 3. So a good start for Fisher. Emulates his beginning of the first with a strikeout to Bulger, 1 away.
Orleans, a team that now leads the East or grows its lead in the East in home runs with their 15th and 16th in the top of the first inning. Doran Park's still a pitcher's park, I would say. You go to Katuitt yesterday, and the ball just flies out of that place at Low Park. Obviously, with the short porch to both left and right field in Orleans, not a real surprise these guys are leading their conference in homers. And even Brewster, too. The ball flies out of Brewster. But fields like Wareham, Doran Park, they're very pitcher-friendly. So to see the ball flying out of here, it means the hitters in this league, who pretty much entirely started the season slow. At one point, what was it, 6 teams with a batting average under 200? They've started to see the ball better, and especially an Orleans team here tonight, and obviously an Orleans team that scored runs against the Braves, 2 in the first 2 contests, but they're seeing it well off Fisher right now.
Stinson hooks this one down the right field line. It will hook foul. Nice catch by a fan down there down the right field line. So the count 1-2 on the Orleans left fielder. And, I mean, you mentioned it. I mean, even if you look at Katuitt, Garnered, they lost a huge bulk of their pitching staff over the last week and a half.
Yep.
But their ERA was sub-2 entering the beginning of last week, and then they give up 10 runs to Falmouth. They give up 12 runs to the Braves yesterday. And a big part of that is because of the arms they lost. But, again, I think you could also point to what you just alluded to, the fact that these hitters are finally starting to come around a little bit, adjust to the change in wood bats, starting to adjust to the pitching a little bit here down in the Cape as well.
Yeah, it's not just the adjustment to the wood bats. You're facing a weekend starter. I mean, every single night. So even Fisher on the mound, right? He is NJIT's guy, the pitcher of the year in their conference.
2-2, swing and a miss. Strike 3, number 3 on the night for Fisher. Back-to-back to open up this second inning. Looks like he's starting to get into a groove as that sends up Connor Burns to the plate here. For Fisher tonight, it'll be a fastball, slider, changeup mix. That fastball, about 89 to 93. We'll use that 72% of the time. 40% ground balls to 60% fly balls. We've already seen a couple of balls in the air tonight. That wind blowing out towards left field as well, where we saw Kevin Sim leave the yard. Here's Connor Burns, the catcher, here with 2 away. As he fouls the first pitch straight back. This will be his 11th game of the year, and he's off to a slow start. 1 for his first 22, hitting at a 0.45 clip. But a guy who could really back it up behind the plate. Was the Big West Defensive Player of the Year this spring for Cal State Long Beach.
And you usually never see that award given to a catcher.
Absolutely.
But that just shows you what this guy Burns provides you from behind home plate, because even at Cal State Long Beach, hit just a $162. But his defense keeps him in the lineup.
Throughout 46% of potential base runners this spring as the next pitch ties him up in knots. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count.
Which is a really smart start tonight, considering the Braves team they're playing against in Orleans, a Bravos offense that has stolen 40 bases on the season. Passing Katuitt, you thought Katuitt was going to run away with that lead. But how about 2 other teams passing the Braves and Katuitt last night?
1-2 spoiled foul.
Who was it, Brewster?
It was Brewster and Hyannis.
Yeah.
And it shocked me when I was doing my prep today because for the last 2 weeks.
Where did they come from?
Exactly. It's been a 2-man race between Katuitt and Bourne. And we said on the air yesterday, I think it was Rockefort who stole second base, and we're like, the Braves have finally passed the Kettleers. And then you wake up this morning, and the Kettleers are in 4th, Braves in 3rd, and you have Hyannis and Brewster tied at the top with 41 stolen bases. Now, we went over it. The Braves are 40 of 48.
Highest percentage.
And that you'll take if you're Scott Landers. Versus Hyannis and Brewster, while they may have stolen 1 more, they've also failed in more attempts. But nonetheless, Katuitt losing a couple of their key pieces, and they've been not nearly as aggressive as they were in the first 2 weeks of the summer. 1-2 is hit hard down the line, hooking foul. So the count will stay at 1 ball and 2 strikes on Burns.
And Katuitt attempted just 1 steal last night, and Espinal threw him out. Helps when your pitcher, Mason Pelio, is throwing 95 miles an hour. And I asked Espinal after the game who was throwing harder, because we said that question on the air. I wonder whose velocity was harder. I think Espy was
sold himself short.
I think he was being a little modest when he said it was only 84 miles an hour out of his hand. My mental radar gun says a little bit faster than that, but he definitely gave the props to his pitcher in Pelio for having the harder fastball.
And Espinal can throw it. It's Tomas Frick behind the plate tonight, as the two have been rotated back and forth platooning so far this summer. As the next pitch is tapped to short, Peck to his right, fields it on the run, throws across his body to first. Tag applied by Brito is not in time. A late call by the first base umpire, Rick Emerson. Brito was trying to sell it running off the field. Again, a very close play right there. A nice play by Peck ranging deep in the hole. But according to the first base umpire, Rick Emerson, Burns was able to beat the race to the base before the tag was applied on his numbers.
Number 12 out of Boston College.
I think Brito definitely was trying to do a sell job there. No, he was nowhere near tagging the runner and Burns down the first baseline. I think that could be ruled a hit. They give an error on Peck, who had quite the defensive performance his last time he was on the field against Hyannis the other night. Burns is probably like, what the heck, man? I'm 1 for 15. No, not even 1 for 15, 1 for 22. Give me a knock.
Here's Travis Honeyman. He's 0 for 1. Now 2 for his last 19 as he takes down low for ball 1. And back to Peck right there. That's a tough error on him because, again, we mentioned had to range deep in the hole.
That's a really tough play.
Had to throw across his body. It faded arm side because he had to rush that throw.
And if anybody faster than the catcher and Burns is running down the first baseline, that's an easy single that Peck made close.
Next pitch to Honeyman is outside for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. And for those who haven't tuned in since the Braves' last home game, which was on Monday, the 4th of July, of course, John Peck had himself quite an evening defensively over in Hyannis on a Wednesday, saving the game with a sprawling grab on a line drive towards his right he was about drawn even with the bag right there, had his range cut down a little bit. And if that ball gets past him, the Harbor Hawks walk the Braves off, and they, 1, don't keep the tie streak going, but 2, lose that ball game.
The Braves haven't been walked off this year, have they? They've walked off Harwich.
And that's it. They've had a couple of close calls with those ties. So the 2-1 misses upstairs for ball 3.
So when the game goes to the bottom of the 9th inning, tied, the Braves this season are 1-0-6.
Yes, you're right. You're right. Good math right there. Of course, the one win, the Josh Moylan walk-off ground rule double.
Ground rule grand slam.
That's what, you know what, we should
That's
make
what
T-shirts.
they're calling it.
Let's make T-shirts. 3-1, swing and a miss on a fastball. Count runs full at 3 balls and 2 strikes.
When we walked in the Buzzards Bay Born 4th of July parade, I heard that. I thought I saw a guy to the corner of my eye, of course, wearing a shirt saying that. But I definitely heard some murmurs calling it the ground rule grand slam.
It's catchy. I'll give you that.
Matt Shaw almost had a ground rule grand slam yesterday.
That was close. I was nervous myself seeing that one.
Transparent fences, man.
There goes Burns. 3-2 is popped up right field, just about medium depth. Jones towards his right will camp underneath it to make the catch. That will end the inning. A good bounce back frame for Ryan Fisher as he punches out 2 batters and puts a 0 on the board here in the top of the 2nd. Heading to the bottom half of the frame, Orleans leads it 3-0. It'll be Evan Slight, the hot-hitting left fielder, to lead things off when we return.
Can first pitch not come soon enough? Well, don't worry. Before the Bravos has you covered. Starting 15 minutes before first pitch at home or on the road, Before the Bravos has the pregame insight and analysis you need to get game ready. From exclusive interviews, a first look at the opposition, lineup breakdowns, and so much more, Before the Bravos is the best place to start your evening of baseball. Before the Bravos, 15 minutes before first pitch, every game day, live on the Born Braves YouTube stream.
T-Mobile is proud to sponsor the Cape Cod Baseball League. T-Mobile believes that when small towns thrive, America thrives. That's why they are investing billions to bring fast, reliable, and affordable wireless service beyond the big cities to small towns across America. There's never been a better time to join T-Mobile. Visit T-Mobile.com/acrossamerica to find out more.
The 2021 West Division champs are defending their title. Now back to Born Braves baseball.
Bottom half of this second inning, 3-0 Firebirds as they look to put their struggles against this Braves team behind them. Coming into tonight had been outscored 12-4 against the Bravos through 2 games. They lead it 3-0 here in the bottom of the second inning. Kyle Carr, out for his second inning of work, was incredibly sharp back in his first inning, striking out 2 batters and sending down the side in order.
Yeah, it was really good. Got through Shaw and Brito back-to-back, something that anyone on Katuitt can't say yesterday. So he did really good in that aspect. Actually, I lied. Shaw and Brito got out back-to-back in the 5th inning.
But you wouldn't think so, though.
You catch my drift, but now he has to deal with Evan Slight, who can be argued is the Braves' hottest hitter. This guy's on a 6-game hitting streak. He's raised his batting average 119 points, which is just an incredible number to raise your batting average double-digit games into the season.
Just a span of about a week. Again, during his 6-game hitting streak, he's 10 for 22. Both of his homers and 7 of his 8 runs batted in. Here's the first pitch, down and away, ball 1. I'll raise you one right there. His OPS,
don't do it,
was .550 550.
Okay.
At the beginning. Where do you think it is now?
I think it's over 1,000. It's close.
It's close. It's close. He's just north of 900.
I guess
at
that'd be
907.
That'd be dramatic.
He's on his way to 1,000, though. Let's say that.
319, though. Now he joins Shaw as the only player in this Braves lineup with the departure of Duffy over the 300 mark.
Absolutely, and just what the Braves need after losing a couple of their big bats, there'll be some additions in the next couple of weeks as well, including Carson Jones, who's leading things off tonight in right field.
And when Slight first got here, he had that pinch hit, base hit late. And then he had a ringing double in Harwich, and you're like, here we go.
Carr doesn't even want to pitch to him as he throws him 4 balls to put him on. First base run of the night for the Braves, as that sends up Wyatt Hensler to the plate. And he was a guy who we were just waiting to get going.
Absolutely.
And once he did, or I should say as he has gotten going, he's been one of the most formidable bats in this lineup. Again, it feels like a multi-hit night after night.
And here's a guy the Braves need to get going, too. Wyatt Hensler, just 3 for his last 23. But talking to Wyatt with Mac Friday earlier today, as Mac is coming out with, I don't want to spoil Mac's articles, but I'm going to. He's coming out with the quarter 2 top performers that we've made our turn for the third quarter of the season.
Now, let's not say spoil. We're going to tease it.
We're teasing it, sure. We're not going to tell you who wins any awards, but Wyatt's like, can I be named the hardest hit ball into out award winner? Wyatt feels like he's seeing the ball well right now at the plate, but just hitting into a bunch of outs. So when you're hitting the ball well, you just got to go up there and have the mindset of, I'm barreling everything. Sooner or later, I'm going to get my break. And the Braves would love to get Wyatt Hensler's break here sooner rather than later.
And to his point, yesterday came up with the bases loaded in that lengthy second inning. It just missed a grand slam.
Yes.
Took Scott back in front of the track. Off the bat, I thought that had a very good chance to get out. He took the sac fly either way. And then even go to the night before that, and Hyannis stung a ball on the ground to the shortstop for the Hammerhawks in Patelli that, again, had to have been hit north of 90 miles an hour as this one skied out to right field. Humphrey towards the line at the track and foul ground to reach up to make the catch for out number 1. So Hensler retired. His Slight retreats over to first base. But again, a guy who carried
Third baseman, number 21,
the Ivy League
Oregon,
offensively this year.
Malone.
And hopefully at some point will be carrying this Braves offense as well.
Yeah, double-digit home runs for this guy. Broke a lot of pen records. Made the rest of the Ivy League quake, if you see what I did there.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Here's Brennan Malone.
But you're waiting for Jim to just get into one here, and I think it's coming soon. We've been saying that for a couple games, but Wyatt fouling out there down the third baseline, I think he'll get one. Hit very hard at some point in this game, just with 2 extra base hits on the season.
And I'll tell you what has been consistent with Wyatt. 1, his stoicism when taking hit by pitches. He's been hit 5 times
Second
now.
in the league.
Quietly second in the league.
Only trailing Travis Honeyman of Orleans, who leads the league with 7.
So we got the battle of the hit by pitches tonight, it seems. It's the 1-1 to Malone is cut on a miss. But not only that, for both Ethan Frank, for Mac Friday, and anyone who has interviewed this roster, of course, all of them a pleasure to interview, but they always say Wyatt Hensler is their favorite interview with how thoughtful his answers are. So he's a good guy in that dugout.
That's
as the next
that
pitch
pen
is cut on a
education right
miss.
there.
You'd think so, as Malone is down on strikes. That's punch out number 3 on the night for Carr. 2 down. His Slight still holds on first base.
I get declined from schools that don't hold a candle next to Penn, so.
Oh, man.
I didn't even send our friends in Philly my application.
Hey, I didn't even apply to Penn, so I'll give you that. Here's Carson Roccaforte with 2 down. 3 for his last 13. Was 1 for 5 with 3 strikeouts yesterday. Now 8 for 49 in the year, hitting a .163.
With this guy's speed, too, Roccaforte, another guy who you're just waiting to get going. No extra base hits at this point in the season. Sooner or later, he's going to hook one into that right field corner and get 3 bases.
0-1 is outside ball 1. 1-1. See if you can manifest it right there. It's been a couple times that it's happened so far this summer. Another guy who was just dominant for Louisiana Lafayette this year. And if Scott Landers can get him going, watch out if you're in the Western Division, as the next pitch is a breaking ball over the heart of the plate. Count moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes. So 3-0 Orleans your score if you're just tuning in. 3 runs in that first inning on a sacrifice fly off the bat of Keishel. And then back-to-back home runs from Sim and Humphrey on back-to-back pitches. 1-2, tap foul. Hat flies off of Carr as the count stays at 1 ball and 2 strikes. It's the second time the Braves are seeing Carr. Back on the 24th when the Braves picked up a win that night. Went 4 innings, 2 runs. Both of them were in 4 hits, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. His last outing was against the Red Sox, the YD Red Sox. Went 4 innings, allowed just 1 run on 3 hits, 1 walk, and 3 punch-outs. Fastball will sit around 91 to 94. There's the breaking ball. Swing and a miss for strike 3 that will retire the side. With that, we're heading to the top half of the 3rd inning. All Firebirds so far tonight. They lead it 3-0 here on the Braves Television Network.
T-Mobile is proud to sponsor the Cape Cod Baseball League. T-Mobile is committed to serve those who serve. That's why they go above and beyond for our active duty military, veterans, and first responders. Visit your neighborhood T-Mobile store or T-Mobile.com to learn more.
For the first time since 2019, the full Cape Cod League playoff slate is back. Last season, just 2 teams from the East and West Division respectively played in the shortened playoff format, but this year there will be a full 8-team slate. 4 teams from the East and West will get a shot at the title. The Braves have missed the postseason just once since 2007 and look to make another run back to the title game in 2022, a series they lost a season ago. It's the Cape Cod League playoffs and they're back in full swing for the first time in 3 years. Let's take you back out to the ball game. It's time for more Bourne Braves baseball.
Braves sitting at 3-0 hole as we start the top half of the 3rd inning here from Doran Park. The Braves and Orleans Firebirds meeting for the 3rd time this season. The Braves look to take the first 3 games of the season 4-game set. But Orleans, with 2 home runs in the 1st inning, lead this game 3-0, and Ryan Fisher is back out for his 3rd inning of work, facing the part of the lineup that got him in the 1st, Furman, Keishel, and Sim.
And he's coming off a good inning of work back in that 2nd where he bounced back. 2 strikeouts to open up the frame, then Burns would reach on the E6, which was the soft ground ball, then got Honeyman to fly out to right to end the inning. So looking to get into a groove right here, keeping this deficit to 3.
After Fisher struck out Honeyman to begin this game, Furman roped a triple into the right center field gap and then scored on the sac fly by Keishel, who waits on deck. That was the first of 3 Orleans runs in the 1st. The other 2 came on back-to-back pitches, Sim and Humphrey solo home runs. Furman, a 2nd-team Conference USA selection at UNC Charlotte this season. .371 hitter, a pair of home runs. Still under the 250 mark in the Cape this summer, but with a good start tonight with that triple scolded into the gap between Rockefort and Jones. Fisher hunting his 4th strikeout. Here it is. Changeup on the outside corner, ball 1.
And he's used that pitch a couple of times, just 9% in his previous 4 outings, but has gotten a couple of big strikeouts and big swings and misses on it. 29% whiff rate against Cape Cod League hitters so far this summer.
Another one hit into center, but this is right at Rockefort, who doesn't move a muscle and places the glove in front of his face to make the first out of the 3rd inning.
And Rockefort's made 2 plays on fly balls tonight. And on each of them collectively, I think he's maybe made a step or a step and a half. That one, again, you said it, did not move a muscle, perfectly placed for out number 1.
Braves and Firebirds playing on a red jersey Friday here at Doran Park. The first time we're seeing the Braves wear these uniforms on a Friday. They wore them on 4th of July. But tonight, a red jersey Friday across the Cape to support military and the active military and veterans, not only on the island but around the rest of the United States. So the 5 home teams this evening wearing these same exact jerseys with the camo tops. Rolled to 3rd. Here is Malone. 2 are gone.
And Malone back at 3rd base tonight. We saw him in left field a couple of nights ago. And again, he talked to a couple of us before that game saying that he was comfortable in left field, but there was a pivotal play that almost cost the Braves a ball game back in that 9th inning where he was twisting towards the left field line and the ball glanced off his glove to allow Nishida to reach base, representing that winning run, who would eventually get to third base. But back at third base tonight made that one look easy.
He was so cool when he said what the difference was. He's like, yeah, it's like third base, except you're farther away from home plate and you play the ball in the air. I guess it's a good point. As Sim hits this one off the end of the bat, Peck ranging over, makes the throw across the diamond to retire the side in a hurry here in the 3rd. Orleans goes down in order for the first time tonight, and they still lead it 3-0 on the Bourne Braves television network. But before we step aside, we'll go down to the sidelines tonight for the first time and say a happy Friday, a happy Red Jersey Friday to our Ethan Frank.
It is a happy Friday, Calvin, as the Braves come up to bat here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. And I talked to some of the players before the game to really find out what's going on with this team offensively. I was talking to the Rutgers guys, Evan Slate and Chris Brito, really finding out the difference between what is an individual slump and a team slump, because it really felt like up until last night, this team was in a deep slump. And Evan Slate described it to me as you'd much rather be in just an individual slump compared to a team slump, because say you're not hitting the ball well and you come back into the dugout and things are still going well, then your mood is still fine. But if the team is struggling as a whole, then it just brings the mood of the entire dugout down. But Slate told me it was really that sack bunt against Chatham last Friday that got him going and what spurred his hot streak over the last week plus. So the Braves are finally starting to turn things around, and obviously they trail 3-0 here and have been scoreless through 2 innings. But here in the bottom of the 3rd, maybe we'll see if they can get something going with this newfound offensive momentum.
Well, Ethan, the Braves' offense is trying to get back into the rhythm it was in yesterday, this evening against Kyle Carr, as the second time he faces this Bravos lineup has looked really, really sharp, facing just 7 guys through 2 innings of work.
And the only base runner that reached was Slight, who walked on 4 pitches. Besides that, 4 strikeouts so far, 2 balls put in play, a ground out off the bat of Brito and a fly ball out to left field off the bat of Brito. So now he's going to get 8, 9, and 1 here in this order as they just look to get something going. And again, a week and a half ago, 3 runs felt like a lot, but with the way the offense was going yesterday, you got to be confident that you can build off of that coming into tonight.
And oh, by the way, we talked about Connor Burns, the Orleans catcher, tonight. The Defensive Player of the Year in his conference out at Long Beach State. You never see catchers win Defensive Player of the Year, as this one's rolled over to short. Knight from his back foot throws out John Peck on just 1 pitch. But between innings, when he threw it down to second base, he kind of just caught it, took a little step forward, and side-winded a laser down to second base.
Unbelievable.
I wish I had that arm strength. I do.
Me too. Me too. Did you see the video of the college baseball player that was sitting probably 200 feet down the left field line and threw the first baseman from his knees?
I did not see that.
It was incredible. Burns-type strength right there.
A birdie told me that you threw 79 miles an hour at Fenway the other night.
I did.
I also haven't seen that video.
There was no video.
Oh,
but there were 5 witnesses.
That's a tale as old as time. There wasn't. You know how many people were in the world, and you're going to pick 5 witnesses?
Ethan Frank, Ben Spector, all members of the broadcast that can be trusted.
I'm waiting for someone I trust.
Oh, man. Well, we got to go back to Fenway.
Was Joey there?
Joey was there as well.
Did Joey witness it?
Joey threw 67, so I had him by 12 miles an hour.
If I get a written notice from Joey saying he saw you throw 79 miles an hour, that's the only one I'll believe.
Okay, I'll get him on that.
He's a college baseball player in his own right, one heck of a base runner. As Tomas Frick has come ahead of the count here, 3-0. 4-0, a 4-pitch walk as the 3-0 pitch misses at the knees. And Carr hasn't allowed a hit tonight, but he's allowed his second walk here in the 3rd inning as Tomas Frick, the struggling catcher, takes first base.
And both walks on 4 pitches, so the Braves have to take advantage of this right here. That was a close 3-0 pitch right there. You could see the pitcher in Carr hesitating a little bit as he got the ball back from his catcher and Burns, but nonetheless, the Braves will take it. Frick now reaches base for the 2nd time in consecutive starts for him.
So now let's see what Carson Jones is made of. Struck out on 3 pitches his first time around in his Bravos debut. He talked about his injury-plagued season, had just 55 at-bats across 21 games. But when he was in the lineup down there in Blacksburg at Virginia Tech, he straight up raked. A .327 hitter, 8 home runs, 23 RBIs. And bats with 1 out and 1 on with his team trailing by 3 runs here in the home half of the 3rd inning.
And in that first at-bat was just laid on a couple of fastballs again, probably just trying to get that timing back, of course, after a couple of weeks off.
The third baseman in Sim playing towards the middle, so there's a big hole if he can hit one down the left field line, especially with the way Stinson is shading towards left center. Would have to go the complete opposite direction as the count is evened 1-1. Kyle Carr looking to go 3 scoreless innings against this Braves lineup and catches Jones on a wave and a miss to climb ahead of the batter 1-2.
And now second time through going with that slider early on in the count here against the left-handed hitting Jones. So we'll see if he tries to speed him up with a fastball. Uses that slider just about 17% of the time, has a 25% swing and miss rate on it.
Another check on Frick, who's not going anywhere. The Braves catcher hasn't attempted a stolen base this season. Carr would love a double play ball to face Matt Shaw with the bases empty to start the fourth. The 1-2. 2-2.
And so far now, 21 strikes to 16 balls for Carr. 8 of those balls have resulted in the 2 walks. The Braves have really not seemed to be able to put good timing on it. A lot of late hacks so far against the left-hander. We mentioned he could top out at just about 95 miles an hour.
This one skied into shallow center field. Honeyman going over. Now it's the left fielder Stinson who lays out and makes a miraculous sprawling catch in left center field. How about the effort from the Orleans outfielder who saves a bloop base hit off the bat of Carson Jones, and 2 are gone here in the inning.
That's just a tremendous play right there. And this was a tough one because it's kind of hit into no man's land, both for the center fielder and Honeyman and Stinson, the left fielder. He was the one closer to it. Floated off the ground right there, belly flopping onto the grass, and held on to make a huge catch. As if not, you have Matt Shaw, one of the hottest hitters in this league, one of the best hitters in this league, on with a couple runners in scoring position in less than 2 outs.
Talking about flipping the switch on an inning. It would have been runners on first and second with 1 out for Matt Shaw, who had a 4-for-5, 6 RBI night yesterday. Instead, it's Frick on first and 2 gone in the frame. So with little help from his left fielder, Kyle Carr climbs ahead of Shaw 0-2 and is now 1 pitch away from 3 scoreless innings to begin this night at Doran Park.
And quickly ahead of Shaw here at 0 balls and 2 strikes after already striking him out looking in the first.
Bravos dropped a dozen on Katuitt last night to win their second conference victory of the season. Here's the 0-2. Tap foul as Matt Shaw, who's as gritty as anyone with 2 strikes, fouls away a tough pitch in front of the Braves dugout.
And I'll tell you what, after striking out looking in the first inning and down behind with 2 strikes right here, he is not going to want to go down swinging again, especially after coming into yesterday with that 0-for-10 skid, trying to really build off of what was a miraculous 4-for-5 night last night.
Carr's 0-2 again. Fouled away again. Three to nothing is the Orleans lead after a first inning triple sack fly followed by back-to-back homers gave the Firebirds the lead early. Carr's 0-2. Roll to Thim at third. He'll go the easy way and make the toss to Furman at second to put the Braves to bed here in the third inning. Kyle Carr is having a big-time bounce-back performance against the team that beat him 2 weeks ago. It's a 3-0 Orleans lead as we head to the fourth on the Born Braves television network.
Not being able to make it to Doran Park is no excuse to miss the Braves in action. You can watch every Bravos home game live on the Born Braves television network. From stellar pitching performances, dazzling defensive plays, and big-time power displays, you can catch it all from the comfort of your home. It's your favorite Cape League team live on your screen. Just head to the Born Braves YouTube and join the fun.
You can catch the Born Braves all summer long at Doran Park. With more than 20 home games this season, Braves baseball is just a short drive away, whether you're on or off the Cape. With free admission to every Cape Cod League game, nights at Doran Park provide family fun for everyone. First pitch for all Braves home games is at 6, and you can check out the Bravos' full schedule over at our website, bornbraves.org.
This is Josh Moylan, first baseman from East Carolina, and this is Born Braves Baseball.
Orleans looking for more. They lead 3-0 here in the top half of the fourth inning on 3 first-inning home runs. Ryan Fisher has held the fort down since, and he's back out there for his 4th inning of work after dealing a 1-2-3 third frame.
He's been really good since that first inning. He's retired 7 of the last 8 batters he's faced. Has been able to pick up a couple of strikeouts and induced a couple of rollovers as well. His infield defense has helped him out, even with the tough E6 on the shortstop on Peck, which was still a very good effort. So look to keep this a 3-run deficit right here. Again, if he can keep it this way through 5-6 innings, that's a start that Scott Landers would love. If you told him that before the game, you just need the offense to pick you up. But now little to no margin of error for Fisher right here. Again, trailing by 3.
The batter is Isaac Humphrey, who hit his first Cape home run in the first inning on the pitch right after his teammate Kevin Sim went deep. Combined, those 2 home runs were just a little bit longer than the Snack Shack line as we continue to have a packed line spanning from the concrete onto the grass as it's a packed house here at Doran Park on a Friday night. This one spun to second. Matt Shaw is on his run, and he makes the play across his body. That one had some English on it, but nobody better to have at second base than Matt Shaw to make that play look easy.
Shortstop, number 3.
And it did. Some side spin. Again, Shaw was sprinting hard on it. I think thought it was hit harder than it actually was initially. So then slowed himself down, a little bit of a stutter step as he circled around it and made a nice throw on the run to first base to get a speedy Humphrey.
So Humphrey's down rather quietly, and here is Austin Knight, who popped to center back in the first. Knight on the night is 0 for 1 with that pop out, a guy who played at UNC Charlotte like his teammate here in Orleans, Nate Furman, did. The 250 hitter for the 49ers did hit 11 home runs and drive in 63 batters. Orleans looking to get a base runner on here in the 4th. Last base runner they had was in the 2nd. That was on the error by the Braves shortstop, John Peck.
And of the 4 of the last 5 batters he's faced, he's induced a ball on the ground. Had induced 60% fly balls coming into tonight, so a little bit of a different look so far.
Fisher with 3 strikeouts on the evening, 2 of those coming back-to-back to start the 2nd. Looking for his first since then here in the 4th. The 2-2 coming to the shortstop in Knight. Swing and a miss. He got him on a slider, tailing away for strike 3.
And that was filthy. Again, starting at the front hip of the right-handed hitting Knight and gliding all the way towards the inside line of that left-hander's batter's box. Got him well out in front as well. That's now his 4th strikeout of the evening. 3 of them have been swinging as well.
So here is Jack Bolger batting for his 2nd time tonight. With nobody on and 2 gone here in the 4th as Ryan Fisher looks to retire 7 straight Firebirds. Caught Bolger looking to start off the 2nd. The Vanderbilt DH with no batting gloves. A little bit of an old-timey look hitting from the right side. This is popped into shallow right center. Here comes Jones. He'll make the play to retire the side in the 4th. So after a rough first inning, Ryan Fisher has bounced back. He's retired 7 straight, and we're going to the home half of the 4th with the Bravos still trailing 3-0 on the Born Braves television network.
Keep up to speed with the Braves when you're away from Doran Park by visiting our website at bornbraves.org, and be sure to follow us on Twitter and like us on Instagram and Facebook. You'll be kept up to date all year long with the Braves.
T-Mobile is proud to sponsor the Cape Cod Baseball League. T-Mobile is committed to serve those who serve, and that's why they go above and beyond for our active duty military and veterans. Visit your neighborhood T-Mobile store or T-Mobile.com to learn more.
A night at the ballpark is one of the best ways to spend a summer evening with the family. With free admission to Doran Park and every field on the Cape, you can bring along the entire crew to experience a free night of fun at the park. Catch the best collegiate summer baseball league with the whole family all summer long, with tickets starting and ending at $0. To find the full Braves schedule, head over to our website, bornbraves.org.
Cape Cod League Baseball is live. The Bourne Braves are in action.
Ryan Fisher's looked sharp over his past 3 innings on the mound for the Braves, but he's been outdone tonight by Kyle Carr, who's back to work for his 4th inning of work. Hasn't allowed a hit to this point, just 2 walks. Worked around a 1-out walk to Tomas Frick last inning to keep a 0 in the hit column for the Bravos. But to do that through the order a second time, we'll have to start here with Murderer's Row. It's Burrito, Slate, and Hensler, 3, 4, 5 in the Bravos order.
This is a good opportunity to get something started against him as well. A couple of right-handers due up, sandwiched across the left-handed hitting Slight.
You get the feeling Burrito's due for a home run pretty soon. Hasn't had one in 12 days since the second game of the doubleheader in Brewster. Still top 3 in the league in walks with 16 on the year. Was leading that category for a long period of time. Hasn't been walked as of late that much. The 1-1 is down and in. Just 1 walk over his past 3 or 4 games. But really, as it does a good job controlling the strike zone, but pitchers have been attacking him a little bit more. Carr from that little hybrid stretch motion has fallen behind Burrito 3-1.
And if there's one blemish for Carr tonight, besides the fact, or I should say contrasting to the fact that he hasn't given up a hit, is the command. So far at 19 balls to 28 strikes, but has gotten himself behind in a couple of 3-ball counts, especially early on in innings.
3-1 is clubbed to deep center field. Honeyman going back to the track, but he'll put the brakes on there and make the catch for the first out of this inning. I thought Chris Burrito might have just gone gonzo to the dead center, farthest part of this ballpark.
It almost maybe caught this one off the end of the bat right there. Worked himself into a good count, 3-1. Got a fastball running across the middle third of the plate and hit a hard line drive out to straightaway center field. The wind blowing out slightly in that direction as well, more towards left center. And I was with you on that one. Thought that one had a chance to go out, especially when Honeyman started to giddy up back there towards the track late.
Honeyman able to chase it down, though. It's just allowed out number 1 as Carr continues to mow Braves hitters down. Here's Evan Slight, who he walked on 4 pitches back in the second. Slight off the end of the bat, sinking fast into right field. That is down for a base hit under the glove of Humphrey. Slight takes a big turn around first base, but will cruise back into the bag. As Orleans thought they could have had their second Sports Center catch of the night, but it's just a base hit for Slight, the first of the night from a Bravos hitter.
And this was a really good effort by Humphrey. He's lucky he got a piece of it before it dropped past him, because if not, that's probably 2, if not 3 for Slight. And again, that extends his hitting streak now to 7 games. He's now 3 for his last 4 as well. This one just a lot of topspin on it as Humphrey, the right fielder, was sprinting in to try and make that grab, but he ran out of time.
So 7 straight with a hit for Evan Slight, who continues to keep it rolling. As White Hensler looks at ball 1, miss on the inside part of the plate. Slight on in both of his at-bats tonight, a walk and now a hit. Hensler, who popped out to right, now batting with 1 out and 1 on as the Braves look to chip away from the 3-0 deficit they were handed after the first inning.
And this is a good matchup here for Hensler. You got a left-hander. Hensler likes a good fastball. This fastball is going to be low 90s, 92 to 94, but it has some run on it. And we saw the Burrito right there. It ran right across the middle third of the plate and almost got it out. I think if Hensler could get a pitch in the same spot, we could see an opportunity for him to get underneath someone and elevate and celebrate.
Haven't seen a home run from Hensler this year. We have seen a double and a triple for his 2 extra base hits of the campaign, but hasn't gotten a hold of one yet, the 2-0. Fouled third base side. Orleans starting to get a lefty going in the bullpen. Carr hasn't had an appearance over 4 innings yet this summer. Slight's on first base, not a real threat to steal. 0 for 1 stealing bags this season. And was also thrown out at home plate last night. That was a part of the game that got swept under the rug because of how good the Braves' bats were the entire night. But with the bases loaded, Slight tried to take home plate on a pass ball that trickled just about 5 or 6 feet away from the catcher over top, and he was able to flip it to the pitcher to get Slight out at home to end the inning.
And if there's one blemish on what we can now officially call the week of Evan Slight, because it's a 7-game hit streak, it has been the base running. He's been caught stealing. He's been back-picked at third. We saw him get thrown out at the plate on a pitch that, again, was a wild pitch, so you can't necessarily blame him for running there, but it just didn't get far away enough. So that's one thing he may have to clean up, but then again has made up for it in many other ways offensively.
He is going on the 3-2 as it's a broken bat looper into right field, and that is going to get down. Wyatt Hensler was hit into so many bullet outs, has a big grin on his face over at first base, as this time he gets gifted a base hit on a broken bat hit-and-run single into short right field over the glove of Furman.
He's going to have to give Evan Slight a little courtesy right there, because again, with Slight going on the pitch and the hit-and-run in play, the second baseman and Furman had to range up the middle towards the second base bag, and then quickly had to redirect, and at this point, there was no chance for Furman to get it. Slight was caught in his tracks just a little bit, about 3/4 away down the second, or to second base, I should say. But luckily enough for the Braves, it dropped down for a base hit. Hensler will take it. And now a good spot here set up for Brennan Malone.
And I was going to say earlier in that at-bat that Hensler has had the same grayish-silver bat he's used all season. I was going to say, he struggled a little bit. 0-3 for his last 24. But he hasn't broken a bat all year. And now you can say rip to a fallen soldier, but it dies a hero. A base hit as Hensler looks to break out of a little bit of a rut he's been in, as the Braves have something cooking here in the fourth.
And correct me if I'm wrong, that's another Alan Espinal quote right there, right?
You think I'm quoting Alan Espinal? What did I say that quotes Alan Espinal?
I think we were talking to him after YD.
As this one's roped into left field, a base hit. Slight will come around, going for the plate. This will be a close play. Stim's throw home is not in time, and the Braves are on the board as Brennan Malone grabs his second hit and RBI in a Bravos uniform.
And a good piece right there. The third baseman and Sim tried to field this on a knee, just underneath his glove. And this was a close play at the plate right here. Again, if Stinson's throw is on line and not cut off, they have a chance to get Slight at the plate. But luckily enough, it was a little bit up the first base line. The Braves will take it now, 2 runs away from tying this game up.
And that will be the night for Kyle Carr, who is cruising through 3 1/3 tonight. But 3 singles in a row, Slight, Hensler, and Malone, has chased him from this ball game, with the Braves getting a run back and threatening for more here in the fourth. We'll step aside and we'll tell you about the new arm coming in from right field when we come back on the Bourne Braves Television Network.
The Bourne Braves will be holding youth clinics this summer. They're for boys and girls ages 5 to 12, plus we'll offer 1 week of clinics for ages 12 to 15. For more information, visit the 50/50 table near the concession stand or visit our website at bournebraves.org.
Win or lose, there's always a Brave that sticks out on the field. Head over to our YouTube channel by searching the Bourne Braves, or head to @BourneBraves on Twitter and catch the post-game interview every night with a player of the game on game night with me, Ethan Frank. And as always, you have a say on who gets to chat with me. Tweet at us @BourneBraves and use the hashtag Player of the Game to submit your pick for the POG.
The stars of the Bourne Braves can't perform well with an empty stomach, and neither can the best fans in the Cape Cod League. Hungry at Doran Park? Visit our concession stand down the third base line, serving your favorite ballpark classics, including hot dogs, hamburgers, popcorn, cold drinks, and more. The concession stand at Doran Park is the place to go, because the only thing better than watching the Braves live is watching the Braves live with a hot dog in your hand.
Want to look like a Bravo? Well, there is one place where you can find the official gear of the Bourne Braves, and that is at the Bourne Braves Pro Shop. Open during every home game and located on the ground level of the press box, you can find Braves hoodies, t-shirts, hats, and more, all in just one place. Wear the same gear as the players and rep the Braves wherever you go. Visit the Braves Pro Shop today and let the rest of the Cape know you're repping the Bravos.
Make sure to follow the Braves on Twitter @BourneBraves for all of your favorite Bravos content. From in-game score updates to player interviews and so much more, The Braves on Twitter is the place to go for the most up-to-date information on the Bravos. Make sure to follow us today at Born Braves.
Time to go back to the park. This is Born Braves Baseball.
So here we go. The Braves battling back in the fourth inning. 3 straight singles and an RBI knock by Brennan Malone has chased the pitcher in Kyle Carr out of this ball game. He gives way to a fellow lefty in the Georgia State two-way player Cam Jones, who's on with runners on first and second, and just 1 out in the inning.
And this will be his 7th outing of the summer so far. 2.38 ERA through 11 1/3 of an inning's work. Has allowed just 3 runs, 2 of them home runs, with 8 strikeouts to 3 walks.
Going lefty on lefty here with Carson Roccaforte, who struck out to end the second. Roccaforte is due for a very big hit. 8 for 50 on the year. Doesn't have an extra base hit to his name. But it just feels like a ticking time bomb for him to get one down the line somewhere and drive in a couple runs with a scorching extra base knock. Hensler dances off a second to 1-1. Is nowhere near the zone. Good block behind home plate by Burns, the defensive wizard back there, to keep that in front of him and keep the runners on first and second.
And a really good opportunity here to get back into this ball game. If you're the Braves, you at least want to come across with one more run in this frame. Again, they'll take the 1, but need to take advantage of these opportunities.
Roccaforte hits this one into the right center field gap. That is down for a base hit. Hensler's going to come around to score. Roccaforte chugging for 2. He is in there. And how about that? He gets his first extra base hit on a line drive double in the right center field gap. And the Braves are within 1, 3-2 in the fourth.
And that has got to feel good for Carson Roccaforte. Not only does that get the second run of the inning in, but sets up a really good spot for John Peck right here. Second and third one down. It's going to force Orleans to draw their infield in, and the Braves are a fly ball away from tying this game up and a base hit away from very likely taking the lead with Roccaforte's speed at second base.
So the Braves bats, who were hitless through 4 1/3 innings tonight, have put together 4 hits in a row, 3 singles by Slate, Hensler, and Malone, and then the RBI double by Carson Roccaforte, and now the middle of the Orleans infield is going back. So a ground ball up the middle, whether for a hit or not, will tie this game at 3. Peck rolled one over in that direction. His first at-bat, grounded out to the shortstop Knight for the first out of the third.
And he starts him off with a changeup, probably trying to induce a ground ball, just like Carr got with Peck his last time up.
So Malone's on third. Roccaforte is on second, the 1-0. Down and in, it's gone to 2-0.
And in a situation like this, if you're Jones, the ability to have the confidence in your catcher and Burns right there to throw that breaking pitch in the dirt, starting it with the changeup as well, that cross at about just the shin height of Peck, is huge because you need to be able to expand the strike zone to try and get out of this frame right here. Again, Peck, a guy who's been struggling with the swing and miss himself, leading this ball club with north of 25 punch-outs, but still got to be very careful with him as Peck is just a fly ball away from tying this game up.
And his first priority is to put the ball in play. A good count to do that. He's up 2-0 as the Braves look to tie or take the lead here in the fourth inning. Three 3-0. Tomas Frick, who walked on 4 pitches, waits on deck. As after falling behind 3-0 in the top of the first inning, the Braves trying to battle back here in the fourth. 2 have already come across home plate on the RBI single by Malone and double by Roccaforte. Nowhere near the zone, the 3-0 pitch as Burns tries to get Malone napping over at third. But Sim, the third baseman, wasn't ready for it, so it's off of his glove. Luckily for Orleans, it doesn't trickle far enough into the outfield for Malone to score.
And that was a very good save by Sim right there, especially after allowing the walk. Of course, you don't want to put a runner on, but in that situation now, you have the 9-0 hitter up for the Braves and a force-it-all Bags. If that ball gets away from Sim, then it just adds another thorn into the side after allowing that 4-pitch walk.
The Braves have been caught napping down, though. They've been picked off twice at third base this season. Not that time as Malone scurries back. And here's a big opportunity for Tomas Frick, still trying to find his footing on the Cape this summer. Took ball 4 in the third, but just 1 for 14 on the Cape League season. Orleans hunting a double play ball to get the Firebirds out of this inning. But now maybe Jones thinking strikeout as he's climbed ahead of the UNC backstop 0-2.
And Frick, a good double play candidate right here. Again, they'll be playing with the middle infielders back, second baseman and Furman ranging slightly up the middle. So there's a wide open right side of the infield for Frick. That's where his only hit of the season has gone, in that direction.
Speed all around the bases for the Braves, the 2-0. Into the infield, a pop-up playable for Kiesel, the first baseman. He comes back into fair territory and makes the catch for a second out. That is unsuccessful for the Bravos, as the runners will have to stay exactly where they are, with now 2 gone in the inning, and Carson Jones, the top of the Braves order, coming to home plate.
And a spectacular opportunity for Jones to say hello to the Braves faithful with the bang right here. Of course, just needs a base hit with Rocafort's speed at second base to give them the lead. If he could get one in the gap, he could run as well. We could see a lot of traffic on these base paths.
Jones looking to do damage in his Bravos debut, 0 for 2 to begin the night. First pitch slider in there for a strike. Jones drove in 23 runners in just 21 games for Virginia Tech this season. Has to do it lefty on left for Cam Jones, who would Houdini his way out of this inning if he's only able to allow 2 Bravos to cross home plate. One, in fact, after he came out of the bullpen with runners on first and second and 1 out in the inning.
And that changeup so far has impressed me. Again, a couple of really good takes from these Braves hitters, both Peck and now Jones, but it has a lot of depth on it, a lot of late break as well. You could see Jones get into his knees right there as he watched it skid across the plate.
1-1 is just a hair downstairs. It's gone to 2-1. You mentioned the speed, Max, and you mentioned they'll be going. So if Jones can get one into an alley here, he has the potential to clear the bases with John Peck, one of the fastest Bravos on the roster, on first base. He took ball 4. Malone's on third. He singled in a run, the Braves' first run of the night. And then Rocafort grabbed his first extra base hit of the season, hitting a line drive into the right center field gap, bringing Hensler around. Jones looking to bring home his new buddies as they load the bases with 2 gone in the fourth. That pitch had some good sink on it, down and in. The count will leave it at 2-2.
And that one tied up Jones right there. A lot of arm side runs, starting in the middle third of the plate, gliding across an inch or two off the inside corner. A very awkward swing from Jones. Or I should say make that. Oh, we got the battle of the Jones here. Carson Jones and Cam Jones.
But Jones wins the battle. Another pitch down and in. It's the pitcher, Cam, who walks off the mound with a slap of his glove. That is a big-time pitching performance by the Georgia State two-way left-handed hurler as he keeps the Firebirds in the lead. It's 3-2. The Braves claw back but are unable to tie this game as we head to the 5th on the Bourne Braves for Television Network.
Not being able to make it to Doran Park is no excuse to miss the Braves in action. You can watch every Bravos home game live on the Bourne Braves television network. From stellar pitching performances, dazzling defensive plays, and big-time power displays, you can catch it all from the comfort of your home. It's your favorite Cape League team live on your screen. Just head to the Bourne Braves YouTube and join the fun.
You can catch the Bourne Braves all summer long at Doran Park. With more than 20 home games this season, Braves baseball is just a short drive away, whether you're on or off the Cape. With free admission to every Cape Cod League game, nights at Doran Park provide family fun for everyone. First pitch for all Braves home games is at 6, and you can check out the Bravos' full schedule over at our website, bournebraves.org.
This is Nigel Belgrave, pitcher from the University of Maryland. This is Bourne Braves Baseball.
Top half of the 5th inning, the Braves back in this one after pushing across 2 in the bottom of the 4th inning, thanks to the RBI single from Benner Malone and the RBI double from Carson Rocafort. So some breathing room for the right-hander Ryan Fisher, who goes out looking to match his season high for innings pitched with 5 as he gets 8, 9, and 1 here in the Firebirds lineup.
And he's really gotten to a rhythm over the past couple of innings. 7 straight Firebirds sat down after allowing 3 runs in the first. So he'll look to continue to be in that groove he's in a good part of the order to get into another one here 8-9-1 coming to the plate here in the fifth.
It'll be Jacob Stinson to lead it off. First pitch is outside. Stinson struck out swinging back in the second inning. So if Fisher can get through 5 here, would match his season high for innings pitched, may have an opportunity to go out for the 6th. Not only that, but in 3 of his 4 outings coming into tonight, has not allowed a run. The one outing he did was back at the doubleheader against Brewster. In Game 2 of that twin bill, went 4 innings, allowed 3 runs, with a long ball or 2 mixed up in between as well, just like tonight. 1-1, down and in ball 2. 2-1. The only difference was he got 1 run of run support in that ball game. Already has 2 through 4 here in this one, and the Braves get to play a full 9 this evening. So a good opportunity for them to come back if Fisher can hold this to a 1-run deficit. 2-1 the count. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Stinson out in front as the count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Connor Burns on deck, then Travis Honeyman, who's been kept quiet so far tonight. Again, the 3rd time that these teams have faced this year. The Braves, of course, beat these Firebirds back at their place just about a month ago, and then on the 24th, the Braves picked up a win as well. As this one's popped up third base side. Malone will give it a look. It'll fly out of play. Braves have had a knack for the long inning as well. Back in that 4th inning, they sent 8 batters to the plate. Yesterday, on 2 occasions, had 7 or more batters reach the plate, 7 in the 3rd and 9 in that super lengthy 6th inning. In fact, had a base runner on in every frame except the 4th and the 8th. So that offense has been getting things going. Not only that, but 4 for 9 with runners in scoring position last night. As the 2-2 is popped up third base side. Malone will take a couple steps towards the line. He's got it, 1 away.
I wonder if there's an adjustment as Malone goes from left field now back to third base. Probably not, right? Because it's his natural position.
Well, you know what they say. Third base is like left field, but the ball's on the ground.
That's true, and you're closer. I've always said that. Look, I have.
And look, Malone has to be a little bit more comfortable out there tonight. And it looked like the wind took that one a little bit right there. Earlier in the game, it was blowing hard out towards left center, and Malone took a couple steps towards his right and had to readjust and catch this one towards his waist. Still able to make the play either way as the first pitch on the way to Burns is swung on a miss for strike 1.
I've always said this, too. Left field's like right field, except you're on the right, not the left.
Wow. That's some philosophical thinking from the almost Penn State student. 0-1 the count here with 1 down. Pitch. Strike on the outside corner, 0-2. Burns reached via the E6 back in the 2nd inning. That was on a tough play for Peck, ranging towards his right deep in the hole. That could have been ruled a base hit, but Burns instead now 1 for 23 on the campaign. 0-2 rings him up on the outside corner with a fastball for strike 3. 9 in a row retired now by Fisher, 2 down here in this 5th inning.
And if Peck didn't make that error in the 2nd, he'd be now through 11 straight Orleans batters sat down, looking for 12 here against Honeyman. But even with that, he sat 10 batters down in a row, looking for number +1, 11 here to end this 5th.
So here's the top of the lineup for the 3rd time this evening in Travis Honeyman. He's 0 for 2, struck out swinging in the 1st, flew out to right back in the 2nd.
It's kind of weird seeing this guy come to home plate for his 3rd time tonight, not with 2 extra base hits against the Braves already.
No doubt about it. Again, as we said at the top of the broadcast, 5 for 8 against Bourne entering tonight. 3 of those 5 extra base hits. But now 2 for his last 20. Again, a guy who was consistently at the top 3 league leaders in hitting. Now slowly trailing. Entered tonight just 7th in league in hitting. And I say just 7th, but he was up at 1 and 2 playing catch up with Jack Duffy for quite some time. Of course, Duffy not with the team anymore. 0-2 the count here with 2 down. As Fisher looks to get through his 3rd consecutive 1-2-3 inning and send the Braves bats back up. The chance to tie this game up. Here's the 0-2. Rings him up on the outside corner. How about Ryan Fisher? That is now 10 batters in a row retired. He's picked up 6 punch-outs after a difficult 3-run first inning. We're halfway through this one here at Doran Park, and you know what that means. It's time for Around the Cape with Ethan Frank. Ethan, what do you got for us?
I got some delightful news, Max, and that is that every single game is already in the 5th inning around the Cape tonight. A lot of early starts. All 3 teams with no lights are playing at home tonight, so that means 3 5 o'clock starts and the 3 late starters, Harwich, Chatham, and obviously Orleans, all playing on the road tonight. So let's start in Brewster, the second game of a home-and-home between the Anglers and the Whitecaps, and Chatham leads Brewster 4-0. The last place team in the East leads the second place team in the East by 4 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning. At Red Wilson Field, the YD Red Sox in first place in the East lead the 4th place Harwich Mariners 5-4. That game is in the bottom of the 5th inning. YD looking to get a win tonight. At Lowell Park, where we were last night, the Kettleers are once again losing at home, this time to the Wareham Gatemen 4-1 in the top of the 7th inning. A little shocking there. And in the bottom of the 5th inning at Gov Fuller Field, where the Commodores are looking to win another game after they beat these Firebirds at Eldridge Park last night. However, they trail 2-0 in the bottom of the 5th inning. So there you have it. Chatham up 4-0 over Brewster, bottom 6. Harwich trails YD 5-4, bottom 5. Wareham up 4-1 at Catuit. And Hyannis up 2-0 over Falmouth. All of those games in the bottom of the 5th inning or later here on the Cape.
Fantastic stuff, Ethan. And if you're a Harbor Hawks fan right now, you are scoreboard watching, even just 24 games into the season right now. If those 2 scores hold, of course, the Gatemen up against the Kettleers 4-1, and the Harbor Hawks up 2-0 against the Commodores. The Harbor Hawks will have an opportunity, putting themselves just 3 points away from first place.
What jumps out to me, though, Max, is I believe Chatham is still winless on the road as we play in Game 24 this season. You can fact-check me on that, but I believe all 5 of Chatham's wins are at the friendly confines of Veterans Field.
Interesting.
So they're up 4-0 at Stony Brook Field.
Well, there you go, looking to make some 2022 firsts tonight. Here's Matt Shaw. The 2-0 pitch is cut on a missed big rip on a fastball. 2-1 the count. Shaw, the only Braves hitter not to come to the plate in that 8-batter 4th inning where they pushed across 2. Shaw looking for his first hit of the night. Struck out looking in the first, grounded out to third in the 3rd. 2-1, cruises across the center third of the plate. Count evens up at 2-2. So Shaw now has had just 1 game this season where he has not reached base. Had a streak of 13 consecutive to open up the year, which was snapped a couple nights ago. So this is popped up first base side. A nice catch by Luke Keischel, the first baseman, who had to readjust towards his right after overrunning it. And again, it seems the wind is playing a factor here. We saw Malone the last half inning have to range back a little bit, and then Keischel right there overrunning that one.
And I also think it helped out on Kevin Sims' home run out to left field. It's blowing very deep out to left, and that one up in the air so long was pushed back towards the field of play, and Keischel had to readjust and make a sliding catch. As this is why I love the game of baseball. Matt Shaw could hit anything. Matt Shaw could hit the golden snitch left-handed last night. And tonight, he's 0 for 3 with a strikeout, a ground out, and a pop to first.
Here's the 1-1 to Brito. Popped up first base side. Keischel giving it a look once again, and it'll fly on a play. 1-2 the count. And the even better part is, with one swing of the bat later in this game, if he can tie a game up or give them the lead, those previous 3 at-bats go out the window. They're nothing.
Did you see the game the other night in the pros? It was Milwaukee and Chicago, I believe. And Victor Carantini.
Yes.
Sombreroed in the first 9 innings and then hit a walk-off home run in extras to win that game against his former team for the Brewers.
I mean, what kind of hat you wearing after that one? I mean, got to get a special one as the next pitch is fouled straight back.
Is there a sombrero home run hat?
Well, do you even, maybe you go, not the sombrero, because that's, associated
with the sombrero has to be golden.
Yes. No, for sure. So he gets the golden sombrero, but I think you got to give him
maybe he gets a different colored sombrero.
I like that. So what are we thinking, platinum? Or is that 5
No,
strikeouts?
That's 5.
Man, you could go a multitude
It has to
of
be a
different
neutral
directions.
color.
I'm trying to think of the medals, but I think we've run out when you get up
to
5 strikeouts.
Your mind's going to metal. My mind went to red.
Just red? Just plain red? Okay. Well, the next pitch on the way to Brito is cut on a miss for strike 3. A nasty changeup. from Cam Jones has been fantastic in relief of Kyle Carr 2 away. So you're thinking just a straight red, like the red on the jerseys of the Braves tonight?
Sure, right? You know, you were seeing red your last at bat, but you sombrero the rest of the game.
I like that. Then maybe we'll have to send a hat to Victor Carantini.
We're going to send Victor Carantini a red sombrero.
Why not? Courtesy of the Born Braves broadcast team. I can't say courtesy of the Born Braves. We can't speak for the uppers in the organization. But from Calvin and Max.
I'll tell you this. I'm not in.
You and the double negatives. I'm going to take that as a yes.
Sure.
Here's Evan Slight. First pitch is down. Make it the second pitch is down away for ball 2.
Now do we just send it to formerly Miller Park, now known as
American Family Field, I believe.
Okay, yeah. I knew it was something like that. Do we just send it to that address and say, to Victor Carantini, congrats on the walk-off bomb after you punched out 4 times? Here's a red sombrero.
I say so.
Is that our plan?
I think so. 2-0 on the way to Slight is a fastball in the outside corner. 2-1 the count.
I mean, if someone can get a pizza to Jesse Winker after he starts a brawl, we can get a red sombrero to Victor Carantini.
That was special. I almost considered ordering Jesse a pizza after that, as that's grounded up the middle. That's going to sneak into center field for a base hit. So Evan Slight, he continues his hot hitting. He's reached base all 3 times to the plate tonight. He's 2 for 2 as well. So the tying runs at first base here with 2 down.
Talk about seeing red. I mean, Evan Slight is just locked in. 2 for 3 last night. Now he's above 500 over his last 6 games, instead 5 games. Came into tonight 9 for 18, now 2 for 2 with the walk. As you do the math quickly in your head, which is not what I'm doing right now. I'm giving you a chance to do it. He's 11 for 20.
Here is Wyatt Hensler. It's a fastball in the inside corner, 0-1. Well, the 20 is nice because you can multiply it by 5, so he's hitting 550, right? 20, 40, 60.
525.
525.
No. 550.
550.
Wait.
Yes, because 11 times 5 is 55.
Sure.
0-1, swing and a miss on a changeup up in the zone. 0-2 is the count. If that is correct, I'm going to give myself the biggest pat on the back. 550. Okay.
No?
I think we give that to me.
550, yeah.
Yes.
You said that, right?
I thought I said 555 for a second there.
No, 550.
550, I'll take it.
I used to go to college back in May.
0-2, swing and a miss for strike 3. So besides the 550 hitting man picking up a single here in the 5th inning, Hensler goes down on strikes. Joan has been spectacular tonight. He's now picked up 3 punch-outs this evening so far. Ready to the top of the 6th. 3-2 Orleans, your score here in the Braves Television Network.
The Born Braves organization is looking for families willing to host 1 or 2 players for the Cape League season. It generally runs from the first week in June to early August, and the bond between many host families and their players extend beyond the summer and form lifelong friendships. If you're interested in learning more about this opportunity, visit bornbraves.org.
Braves fans living on the Cape far from Doran Park? Too far of a drive to make the trip west on any given night? Well, don't worry, because the Braves are coming to you. The Bravos' full slate of games includes trips to all East destinations, including Orleans, Chatham, Brewster, Harwich, and Yarmouth, as well as West Division road trips to Cotuit, Hyannis, down south to Falmouth, and off Cape to Wareham. So wherever you are located on Cape Cod, the Braves will be in your area and are a can't-miss family fun activity. To see the Bravos' full schedule, head over to our website, bornbraves.org, and come join the fun.
Scott Landers is the new man in charge in Bourne. The new Braves field manager is in his first year at the helm at the Bravos and brings with him an exciting staff that includes World Series champion Jared Saltalamacchia. It's an exciting new regime of Bourne Braves baseball, and it's a team you're going to want to see for yourself. Go to bornbraves.org for the full schedule.
Tomahawk Talk is the official pregame and postgame analysis of the Bourne Braves. Hosted by the Bravos broadcast team, Tomahawk Talk provides pregame insights on game day on what Braves fans can expect to see that night. And after the game, the crew breaks down the matchup that was and looks ahead to what to expect tomorrow. It's Tomahawk Talk, and you can find it on game days on the Braves YouTube site, as well as at Bourne Braves on Twitter.
Live baseball every night. It's another summer on Cape Cod.
Top half of the 6th inning, 3-2 Orleans your score as the Braves take on the Firebirds for the 3rd time this summer. Justin Willis, new into the game, now on the mound for his 2nd inning of work, first outing in just about a week. In fact, a week exactly as he last pitched last Friday against the Chatham Anglers.
The Braves bullpen has an embarrassment of riches active tonight. Willis coming in the 6th inning, and you're like, well, who could be a better closer than Willis? A guy who had 15 saves this season for UConn, and a really big save earlier in the season, his first appearance against Chatham. But then you look at Nigel Belgrave's numbers at this point in the season. But Willis, a really good reliever in his own right. Just one appearance for the Braves this summer. That came against Chatham, like you mentioned. First batter hit a ground ball down to third base, and a throwing error immediately put the game-tying run in the bottom of the 9th inning on second base in a game that would not go extra innings. And Willis loaded the bases with 1 out and got a pop out into the infield and then a fly out to end the game with nails to save that game for the Bravos. They're going to keep this game right where it is here in the 6th and possibly the 7th or the 8th.
Was a high, intense inning for Willis back on the 1st of July in one of the most intense ballparks to play at in terms of atmospheres over at Veterans Field in Chatham.
Definitely top 10.
Quite a way. Quite a way to introduce yourself to Braves fans. And again, Willis closed out games with his eyes closed, it seemed, at UConn. Top 3 in the nation in saves. The next pitch is on the outside
I missed Ethan and Mac's ballpark rankings before the Bravos today.
Oh, I missed it as well.
I wonder where Veterans Field ranks on that list. That's probably a popular pick.
I think Veterans would be my one. I do.
I got a soft spot in my heart for White House Field in Harwich.
That's a top 3. I think for me it would go Veterans, Lowell, and White House.
I hate to say this, but it's a pretty stock standard answer right there.
Well, I've only been
to all of them.
I have been to all of them, but it's just a month of experience for me. You've been here for 2 years. You know the ins and outs. As Furman is down on strikes, good start for Willis, 1 away.
If you think I've explored the bowels of all these parks, then I don't know what you think I'm doing.
I don't know what you were doing last summer.
I was working.
You got at different angles though. You were down in the dugouts last season. Get some player perspectives as well, I'm sure. Here's Luke Keishel. He takes outside for ball 1. So what's your top 3? I mean, we've got to hear it. This is the official top 3
Oh, this
too,
is a lot of
coming
pressure.
from you.
Well, Doran.
Okay, I wasn't including Doran because I thought we were a little biased.
All right. Take that as you want, biased or not. White House, and then I'll go Veterans. You know, I mean, you can't. It's tough to keep Lowell Park out of the top 4, 5. So I would put, I think Veterans and Lowell are kind of up there. But when I made that appearance on EEI in Wareham, they asked me my favorite ballpark, and I said White House Field in Harwich. Here we go.
That's close. It's well over our heads now into the parking lot. 2-1. The baseball gods were trying to catch us off guard talking about stadiums right there.
They said lock in at Doran.
Is that one just missed us over our heads behind the parking lot behind home plate here at Doran Park. I'll tell you what, though, when I walked in the Veterans Field for the first time last Friday, it just felt different. It felt like a movie almost in a way, not to get over romantic
Not
about
to get
it.
the fact that there was
a movie, but it wasn't filmed
wasn't
there.
filmed there.
It wasn't filmed there. But
common misconception.
The blue walls are great. You got the bunting on the walls. You got the grandstands behind home plate. The fact that the broadcast setup was right in the middle of the crowd. Everything felt.
And what's in right?
A berm.
A berm.
It's beautiful. That takes the cake. I wasn't even going to mention it because that's a given, but here's the 2-2. Popped up shallow right, no man's land. Shaw ranging out towards the outfield grass. He's there. 2 away. Simon Slight leave one on the bottom of the burn for a couple of fans back last Friday. And that was, as Ethan mentioned in his previous sideline hit, arguably the catalyst that set off the week of Evan Slight, where he now, of course, is in the midst of what's a 7-game hit streak. He's picked up 2 tonight. Of course, thanks to our quick math, he's hitting .550 over the last week or so.
Aided by calculator.
Hey, and the head of myself.
We were within 1,000 points, though. You got to give us credit for that.
1,000 points.
We were within 1,000
quite a margin.
points.
That's quite a margin, but we'll take what we can get. Here's Kevin Sim. First pitch is down away for ball 1. Sim 1 for 2, and his home run that much more important now, of course, with this Firebirds offense holding on to a 1-run lead. That was out to straightaway left field to give them a 2-0 lead at the time. Humphrey, who's on deck, would leap to right, give them a 3-0 lead. Next pitch, breaking ball over the heart of the plate. Count moves to 1-1. And you said it earlier, Calvin, that Humphrey home run was really impressive because that was out towards the jetted out straightaway right field. That's north of 360 feet out there. And again, Carson Jones out there in right field almost made just a miraculous play as the ball glanced off his glove almost at the exact same time that his chest had hit the wall. Again, that's just about a 5-foot wall out there. As 3-1's to count here on Kevin Sim. Had Jones been able to make that play, I mean, we talk about the Sports Center catch by Jacob Stinson back a couple innings ago for the Firebirds. That one right up there as well. Similar territory to Jack Duffy's sprawling grab where he leapt over the wall a couple weeks ago. 3-1, big rip from Kim as he falls to a knee. Count runs full at 3-2 strikes. So Kim now tied for the Cape Cod League lead with 5 home runs on the year. He's driven in 8 runs as well. Extended his inning streak to 5 games. He's now 8 for 17 in that stretch. 3-2, swing and a miss for strike 3. Willis fired up as he struts off the mound as that will retire the side. He picks up 2 punch-outs and sets down the side in order. Running to the bottom of the 6th, Braves looking for another big inning, and it'll be Brendan Malone to start things off when we return.
Feeling lucky? Head over to the 50-50 table at Doran Park and play everyone's favorite ballpark game of chance. A different list of prizes are available every home game, and of course, half the pot is always up for grabs. Take it from me, my family played the 50-50 last season and won a gift certificate to a local ice cream shop, and I can tell you firsthand, it was delicious. Check out the list of prizes over at the 50-50 table next to the concession stand and play the 50-50 today, because I'm sure there's a prize for you.
For the first time since 2019, the Cape Cod League All-Star Game is back. On Saturday, July 23rd at 6:45, the best players on Cape will come together in Wareham and duke it out in an East Division versus West Division clash. In 2021, the Braves had a league-leading 9 All-Stars, but they weren't able to shine in the mid-season showcase. But now the game is back, and it will include your favorite Braves stars as well as the best talent from around the Cape.
Grab your hot dog and your lawn chair. This is Born Braves Baseball.
Last of the 6th inning. Here's the lights turn on at Doran Park. Very calm evening for baseball. Just about 76 degrees at first pitch. It's cooled off just a little bit here as the Braves look to push across at least one and tie this game up, trailing 3-2. Brendan Malone will lead things off against Cam Jones. He takes inside for ball 1.
Cam Jones been really good now for his 2nd inning of work out of the Orleans bullpen. Got out of a tough situation, keeping his team in the lead in the 4th. And last inning worked around a 2-out single by Slight to retire the Braves in order outside of that.
And that changeup has been mighty effective for him so far. Through an inning and 2/3, has allowed 2 hits, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. As the 1-1 is taken down low. 2-1. He got into some trouble, walked John Peck to load the bases up, then was able to do some pop out off the bat of Frick, a strikeout to Jones, and then he's only allowed 1 hit since. 2-1 is tapped on the third base side and foul. Count evens up at 2-2 strikes. Malone checked in with his 2nd RBI in a Braves uniform, back with his single to left back in the 4th inning. That got the Braves their first run of the evening. A hard hit one-hopper just past the outstretched glove of the third baseman in Sim. 2-2 is swung on and driven deep out to center field. Honeyman sprinting back in front of the track. He reaches up to make the catch for out number 1. Malone put a charge into it, but Honeyman runs it down. 1 away.
Malone's looked good tonight after striking out in his first at-bat to fall to 1 for 16 in a Braves uniform. A hard-hit RBI single in the 4th and then a fly-out here in the 6th that he gave a ride out there. But off the bat, I thought it got a little bit too much of the end as Honeyman turned. Honeyman's a big turn, sprint to the ball and make the catch, which is something you're taught to do. So he does a really good job doing that, but it makes our job a little bit harder.
Roccaforte sears this on the ground, but right to the first baseman, and Keishel, who takes it to the bag for out number 2. And that's something that I think is underlooked, at least from an outfielder defensive standpoint, especially more at the high school, middle school level. because you mentioned it, they teach you sprint to the ball, get underneath it, then get set to make your throw. And I feel like a lot of times people will glide over, softly make the over-the-shoulder catch, but if you can get into a habit of sprinting back and giving yourself some time to set your feet, of course, in that situation for Honeyman, no one on base, but when you get into a spot where you have to make a throw, of course, add your chances of potentially throwing out a base runner. It's the first pitch to Peck, clips the inside corner for strike one.
That's some baseball tips by Coach Tanza right there. Thanks for the free session. I'll start.
It's going to be $5.
I was going to say, I'll cut you a check.
If you want to throw 79 like me at the Fenway Park Speed Radar gun, well, I could give you the tips.
No one, I tell you this, no one oversales Ben Spector when you're playing catch better than Max Standard.
Oh, that was tough. I will admit, that was not my – I oversailed you as well. That was a rough one. But I'm making amends for it. Don't worry. We'll get another opportunity. 0-2 the count here with 2 down on Peck. The pitch. Breaking ball smoked on a line center field, slicing away from Honeyman. He lays out, can't get it. Rolls to the wall, and Peck can run for a while. Taking the turnaround second. He's digging for 3. Honeyman's throw is well laid as John Peck slides in safely with a 2-out triple, representing the tying run.
Honeyman took a chance, and with nobody on and 2 men out in the inning, I like the gamble, him going for that ball. It got underneath his glove, and Peck goes all the way to third on the play as that one was stung. Peck's also been going through it, but a really good job that time going the other way is something we saw him do a lot early in the season and roping one into the alley. Honeyman gave it a really good effort. Orleans, all 3 of their outfielders have almost made really good plays. Stinson did make a nice snag in the third. Humphrey and Honeyman had really good efforts, but weren't able to come up big. But I like the effort there. I like the move to dive for that ball because the worst thing that can happen is there's a runner in scoring position for the Braves 9-hitter with 2 outs in the frame, and you trust Cam Jones, who's been nails tonight up to this point in the contest.
And good for John Peck, who stung that ball out to center field. And I think Honeyman got a little bit of a late jump on it. It looked like he had taken a couple steps in at first, then had to jet out towards his left, and this ball just continued to slice on him. And again, he came close to it as everyone retreats back to their positions right here. So a big, big spot is after Jones had allowed just 1 hit to the last 7 batters he had faced. Now it's to get out of a mammoth jam right here. Tomas Frick, a good opportunity for his first RBI in a Braves uniform. 0 for 1 tonight, walked in the third, popped out to the first baseman, and Keishel with the bases loaded back in the fourth. He swings and hits this one high in the air, deep left center. Going back is Honeyman towards the track in the alley. Reaches up to make the gliding grab, as that will retire the side. Frick gave it a ride out to deep left center, but Honeyman able to run it down this time. Running to the back third of this ball game, top of the 7th coming up next. 3-2, Firebirds your score.
You know what Pete Alonso, Kevin Youkilis, and Lou Merloni all have in common? Go ahead, take a guess. Yeah, that's right. They're all former Bourne Braves. The list of famous Bravo alumni is lengthy and it's growing fast. Take 2021 Major League Baseball first overall pick, Henry Davis, for example. He was on the Cape just 3 summers ago, back in 2019. So make sure you don't miss out on watching the future stars of tomorrow today. Admission to all games at Doran Park and around the Cape Cod League is free. For the full Braves schedule, head to the Bravos team website, bournebraves.org.
Did you know it takes $150,000 to field the Braves every summer? We are a non-profit, all-volunteer organization that relies solely on the donations of private citizens and local businesses. The Bourne Braves are a 501c organization, and all donations are tax deductible. You can donate today online at bournebraves.org.
This is Josh Moylan, first baseman from East Carolina, and this is Bourne Braves Baseball.
Welcome back to Doran Park, top of the 7th inning. We got a close one here tonight. 3-2, Firebirds your score. After what looked to be another offensive-heavy game, Calvin, where the Firebirds pushed across 3 runs on 2 solo shots back in the first inning, all of a sudden it turned into a pitching duel.
Yeah, you look up, and this just snuck up on me as well. Orleans doesn't have a hit since that first inning. A triple and 2 home runs. You're like, all right, here we go. We get a slugfest at Doran, but since the Firebirds hitless, the Braves battling back with 2 runs in the 4th. But still need some more offense if they want to win this game, or I'm not going to say it, but you know what else could happen if they don't lose or win. Justin Willis out for his second inning of work. I'm really interested to see how long he's pushed tonight. Only had one singular 2-inning appearance this entire season at UConn, and he was one of UConn's big arms out of the bullpen, but only had one 2-inning outing, and that came in the Super Regionals. Not the Super Regionals, the Regionals in College Park when he pitched 2 innings against Maryland. I don't want to get too far down that rabbit hole because I'll have our graphic designer in Joey Kurtz and our videographer Colby Rush sitting on both of my shoulders saying which team should have won that series. So I'm just going to say the fact that he pitched 2 innings against Maryland. I'll leave it at that.
0-1 to Isaac Humphrey is outside for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. And Willis, we mentioned, one of the best closers in college baseball this year. Looking like he's taking a trick out of one of the best closers of our generation with that little lean over as he leans in for the sign. Looks like Craig Kimbrell out there. So the next pitch is taken down in for ball 2.
Best of the generation?
One of the best closers of our generation, the last 10 years. I'm pretty sure he's the active leader in saves. He's got north of 350.
Well, it's Koji Uehara 1.
I'm sure all the Red Sox fans listening to this broadcast here in the Cape would agree with you. So the count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Either way, Willis will get 5, 6, and 7 here in this lineup. After Humphrey, it'll be Knight and Bolger. Humphrey, of course, delivered that home run off of Fisher back in the first inning. The last time this Firebirds team scored as the 2-2 has popped up over our heads again. Count will stay at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Every time the heart drops.
We're getting close.
We've gotten 6 or 7 over the past week. And
that roof one
was our
the
closest.
Other night. Yes.
It's coming. It's almost like a pinball machine effect up here with this roof. Of course, if it rolls off one, it's going to come right into our laps as this pitch is swung on and missed for strike 3. Justin Willis in a groove so far. 3 strikeouts against the last 4 batters he has faced as Humphrey is set down for the second time tonight.
I mean, Willis just continuing to improve on the season he put together at UConn this year. This guy comes in and he is in complete control, an intimidating presence out there on the mound, and he is throwing darts tonight. 3 of his 4 batters that he's faced have gone down on strikes.
So here's Austin Knight now coming to the dish. He's 0 for 2, struck out against Fisher back in the 4th. As the first pitch misses outside for ball 1.
And the Braves, they can put together a 3-closer rotation with Cummings, Willis, and Belgrave. That is a 3-headed monster.
And throw Berkwich in the mix as well.
Absolutely. You can also throw Cameron Bye in there.
Absolutely.
Who's been really underrated, but a really good pitcher for the Bravos all year.
Bullpen has been a strength for this ball club. Starting rotation has been very stout as well. The pitching staff in total 6th in the league with a 3.28 ERA. As this pitch is hit on a line, but right into the kitchen of John Peck, who takes a step to his left. It snags it right in front of his face for out number 2. 6, make that 5 in a row retired for Willis. That's the hardest hit ball against him tonight. So that brings up Jack Bolger to the plate. This Braves pitching staff also limiting batters to a .211 batting average. That's the 4th lowest in the Cape Cod League. Strikeouts are not their game. They're last with 175 and have also walked the most hitters at 94, but have been able to weave out of trouble. And that was on full display for Ryan Fisher his last time out. And Ty Cummings as well in that 2-2 tie against the Gatemen last Sunday. And I think that really personified what this pitching staff has been all about, is keeping games tight, keeping this offense in it. So the next pitch on the way to Bolger is cut on and missed. Count moves to 0-2.
Braves need some more runs in this game because it would be a real shame with the comeback performance that Ryan Fisher put together after he gave up 3 runs in the first. Next 4 innings were hitless, and now Willis in his second inning of work through 1 2/3, still without allowing a hit. So the Braves offense needs to come back and win this game for the pitching staff tonight because both Fisher and Willis have been exceptional.
Absolutely. Bolger's already struck out once tonight. That was against Fisher back in the second. Willis will love to punch him out here. 1-2, breaking ball, taken down and away. Count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. For the Braves in the top half, make that the bottom half of this 7th inning. They'll send up Carson Jones, Matt Shaw, Chris Brito, 1, 2, 3 in their order. Again, just trailing by 1 run. Quickly here, just have 9 outs to work with. Here's Willis's 2-2. Breaking ball just a bit outside ball 3. Real close spot. As the count runs full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Bulger, one of the middle of the order men for the Vanderbilt Commodores this year. Got on base at a 363 clip, left the yard 5 times. Off to an 8-for-41 start here on the Cape this summer. This is also his second go-around. Played 5 games for the Firebirds last summer as well. 3-2, breaking ball, taken down away for ball 4. That breaks the string of 5 consecutive batters retired by Willis here. As that sends up Jacob Stinson to the plate.
That's the first base runner for Orleans since the second inning. Braves pitching has sent down 3, 6, 9, 12, 14 in a row.
So here's Jacob Stinson to the plate. Two down here. Stinson struck out swinging in the second, popped up to third in the 5th. Willis's first pitch is a fastball that cruises over the heart of the plate. 0-1 the count. Connor Burns, the 9-0 hitter on deck. Then it'll be Travis Honeyman. Willis would love to get the bottom of the order right here. Do not want to face Honeyman with runners on base, even with his struggles early on here so far tonight. 0-1 from Willis. Swing and a foul straight back. Count moves to no balls and 2 strikes.
And I think this is going to be the last batter. Probably not the last batter if he gets on, but Willis definitely not going to throw a 3rd inning, as it looks like it's Tyler Vogel getting loose down in the Braves bullpen.
Willis so far tonight, 18 strikes to 14 balls. Through an inning and 2/3 of work in relief of Ryan Fisher. He's set from the stretch. Here's his 0-2. Pop foul straight back. Count stays at no balls and 2 strikes. Outfield shading the left-handed hitting Stinson to be slightly late. Rockefort in center, a couple steps towards left center. The right fielder in Jones, a couple steps towards right center as well. A lot of room down that right field line.
And I don't think it's Vogel. I actually think it's Cameron Bye getting loose, who we just touched on a second ago.
Speak of the devil, Willis would love to have him open up the 7th, make that the 8th, and get out of this 7th unscathed. 0-2, fastball upstairs. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. 3 runs, 3 hits, no errors for the Firebirds so far. And as Calvin mentioned earlier, did not pick up a hit, or haven't picked up a hit since the 1st inning. Meanwhile, for the Braves, 2 runs on 6 hits, 1 error. Those 2 runs coming across in the 4th. Willis from the stretch. Move over to first base. It is in time to nab Bulger, as that will retire the side. Willis catches Bulger leaning as he faces the minimum here in the 7th, eliminating the 2-out walk. With that, we're going to send things down to the sideline as Ethan Frank is with a couple of Braves relievers. Ethan.
Yeah, I got a couple special guests here, Max. Nelson Bergwich, Anthony Arguelles, a couple of Braves relief pitchers. I got a couple of baseball-adjacent questions for you guys. How are you feeling?
Good, I'm feeling good.
Hit me with it.
All right, what's your favorite chirp to say from the dugout?
Probably shouldn't repeat that.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, your favorite sport play that isn't baseball?
Ping pong.
Give me on the golf course.
All right, your favorite baseball food?
Ooh, glizzies.
Just give me some seeds.
All right, seeds. Okay. Let's say, Nelson, hypothetically, your family was here watching you. What would you say to them?
Say hi.
Just
Keep it simple. Keep it simple.
Who do you both get your most athletic traits from?
Oh,
Ooh.
Mom.
My mom.
Mom.
What would your dad say to that?
I'd probably agree.
He'd probably try to fight me.
What do you think of your teammates trying to video bomb this interview?
That's all right. I do the same thing, so.
It's electric.
Yeah.
All right. That's all the time we got, guys. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Max, back up to you.
Thank you for that, Ethan.
I don't quite know what was happening down there.
They just wanted some camera time, I guess. Of course, you had Elijah Nunez and Alan Espinal bombing that interview from the back. Either way, thank you to Nelson and Anthony for joining us tonight here in the broadcast. 3-2 your score as we enter the bottom half of the 7th inning. The night now done for Cam Jones as we take a look at his evening so far, or I should say as it's come to a close tonight. 2 2/3 of an innings worked, 3 hits, 1 walk, 3 punch-outs. Remember, he came in that 4th inning and inherited a bases-loaded, 1-out spot, and then was able to toss across 2 scoreless innings in the 5th and the 6th and has kept this a one-run lead for a Firebirds offense that has not scored, nor have they picking up a hit since that 3-run first inning. We got a new arm on the mound here for the Firebirds in Hopfe. He'll get 1, 2, and 3 in this Braves lineup as Carson Jones will lead things off. The Bravos really trying to get something going here.
Number 25 out of Virginia Tech, Carson Jones.
Hopfe, a product of Fresno State University. This will be his 7th outing of the year.
Two-way guy, actually, listed as a catcher on the roster.
As Jones swings and skies this out to deep center field. Honeyman sprinting back, backpedaling towards the track, twisting and turning, reaches up, and he makes the catch right on the railing in left center for out number 1. Carson Jones gave that one a ride, but to no avail as Honeyman has been all over the place tonight.
That's where fly balls go to die. I mean, out to center field. Travis Honeyman, at this point, it feels like he can track down everything. Made an attempt at a diving effort, which would have been a miraculous catch in the last half inning. Got under his glove, but he is just making catches that are not easy. Look elementary in center field tonight.
First pitch to Matt Shaw is in there for a strike. 0-1 the count. And as Calvin mentioned, in total this will be the 7th game of the year, or appearance I should say, for Hopfe. So the next pitch is on the outside corner, 0-2. One via the bat is 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts so far, but has not allowed more than 2 runs in an outing so far this year as the next pitch is cut on and missed for strike 3. Shaw late on a heater, 2 up, 2 down here in the 7th inning.
And this guy's got some swagger to him out in the mound. I watching him warm up out in right field. He let that leg hang when he thought he had a good fastball coming in. I don't know who does that the most. I think it's Johnny Cueto a little bit, but he's definitely got some gusto on him.
First pitch to Brito, just a bit outside. 1 ball, no strikes
And
to
he's in
count.
attack mode. I mean, this is a guy who, like you mentioned, in his 7th appearance of the season, almost pitching in every 3rd game for Orleans.
1-0, fouled straight back. Count evens up at 1-1. In my ear, I have producer Ben Spector saying Nestor Cortez, another guy that'll let the leg hang.
I don't know if I know who that is.
You don't?
No.
I don't know either.
Okay.
Former Mariner, actually. Here's the 1-1. Fastball clips the outer edge.
That's the guy that used to pitch for the Orioles.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
yeah. Wonder where he's now.
I wonder where he is. Hey, he could be starting the All-Star game. Who knows?
In what league?
My vote goes for Verlander, but the 1-2.
I'm not,
just a bit upstairs.
I'm
2
more
and 2.
thinking along the wavelength of Michael Wacha.
Okay, you like that. Big bounce back for him. Got even at 2 here on Brito with 1 swing of the bat to tie this game. Took Honeyman back to the track in his last a couple plate appearances ago in the 4th. 2-2 is on the outside corner for strike 3. 3 up, 3 down for Hopfe here in the 7th inning. Picks up 2 punch-outs as the Braves are set down in order here in the 7th. That catapults us to the top of the 8th. Zeros aplenty so far tonight. 3-2, Firebirds your score.
Missed the biggest part of the game? Don't worry, the Bravos have you covered. Catch the call of the game on the Braves Twitter @BoardBraves to hear the night's biggest moment. From big-time strikeouts to crazy web gems, game-winning home runs, and more, whether you hear it for the first time or you just want to relive the magic, the call of the game will bring back the best moment from the night that was.
Free. It's a word you don't hear often, but it's the only word in the Cape Cod League. Every single game on the Cape is free, which means you can bring the entire family, extended family, and the extended family for no charge at Doran Park or to any other game on the Cape. Catch the best collegiate summer league in the nation for absolutely no charge all summer long.
Cape Cod League Baseball is back on the New England Sports Network in 2022. Nesson will feature 5 Cape League games on its airwaves this season, the first of which comes on June 30th when the Braves take on the Falmouth Commodores, and then the Nesson crew comes to Doran Park on July 21st when the Braves host the Wareham Gatemen. All Cape League games on Nesson start at 7, and the station will also feature the league's All-Star Game. It's the best summer baseball in the nation, and it's live on the same station as the Boston Red Sox all summer long.
This is Seth Keener from Wake Forest, right-handed pitcher, and this is Born Braves Baseball.
So, hey, how about this? Justin Willis out for his third inning of work out of the Braves bullpen. His longest appearance this season at UConn was 2 innings, but coming out for the third here tonight, and why not? He has been very good. Has faced just 7 base runners, has faced just 7 hitters in this game tonight. Hasn't allowed a hit as Orleans still hitless since the second inning, but still in the lead in this game. As Stinson squares but pulls back and watches a first pitch miss below the zone for ball 1.
And I think time has quickly run out for both of these offenses right here. Of course, if you're Orleans, you want some insurance. If you're the Braves, just trying to tie this game up, if not take the lead. But quickly here we are, 6 outs to work with for both teams. And it feels like just moments ago we were back in that 4th inning where the Braves had just pushed across 2 and felt like they were getting back into this game.
You look at Orleans, though. This is a ball club that had 3 extra base hits in the first and hasn't gotten a hit in an hour and 40 minutes of real time since. Stinson is 0 for 2, the batter. He struck out in the second and popped out to third in the 5th. Both of those were against the starter Ryan Fisher, who put together 5 gusty innings of work. Allowed those 3 runs in the first and then 4 hitless innings after that, including a stretch where he retired 7 straight Firebirds. Actually extended that stretch to 10 from the end of the second through the 5th. The 0-2 comes inside and hits Stinson on the front hip. Not what you want to do there. Up 0-2 in the count, and Orleans gets a base runner, their second against Willis, to lead off the 8th inning.
And that's going to be the 4th or 5th time we've seen either a Braves pitcher or one of the opposing pitchers hit a batter ahead 0-2. As Scott Landers now having a conversation with Mike Finn, the home plate umpire. Maybe going to ask if the left-handed hitting Stinson leaned into this one right here with 2 strikes.
Maybe not leaned in, but didn't make an effort to get out of the way. All 3 umpires will come together here, but I don't see an outcome where this call is overturned and they send Stinson back to the plate.
And it was a breaking ball that was running inside as well. So I don't think you could blame Stinson for not particularly moving out of the way, as they'll keep him on at first base. But worth the try for Scott Landers. But back to my point, it seems like a couple of times, particularly in the last week, where we've seen pitchers get ahead 0-2 and then hit batters. We saw it happen to Eblin the other night, and it's tough for Willis, who had been in a groove so far. You get ahead right there, you're feeling good, but all of a sudden now you put a speedy runner on base.
And the catcher Burns is up to home plate. 0 for 2 tonight, just 1 for 24 on the Cape this summer. He squares to bunt, trying to make a productive out and send it up to Travis Honeyman, who is more than due at the top of this Orleans order on deck. Bunting again, and this time he gets it down. It's a beauty down the first baseline. Espinal is going to let it roll, and it stays fair. I think Espinal could have had a really good opportunity. Instead, that's Frick tonight catching behind home plate. Frick had a great opportunity, I think, to throw out the batter in Burns, even when that ball was still rolling down the first baseline. But he elected to watch it roll, and it stayed fair, giving Burns a base hit he so desperately needed. I think that's a blunder on the part of the catcher in Tomas Frick.
I also think Burns almost stepped on it right there. That thing was hugging his feet as he was racing it down the first base line. Just a beautiful bunt. And again, I agree with you. I think that's a play that he could have made. Burns isn't particularly a plus runner. And now that sets up a real tough spot here. First and second, nobody out. And the Firebirds can break this game open.
So the Orleans Firebirds, who were just trying to get a hit since the first inning, have 2 runners on with nobody out. And here is Travis Honeyman. He's squaring to bunt and pulls back, watching a ball miss away.
And I like this call a lot, even though Honeyman is one of your best hitters in this lineup, if not the best hitter. 1, he has good speed, so if he drops a good one down into no man's land, there's a chance he could beat it out or at least put pressure on the defense to have to make a quick throw. But 2, your team has been struggling so much offensively. You have Furman on deck who's swinging it well. Keishel behind him would set up a really good spot if they can execute.
Any chance that bunt is just for show, as Burrito's in tight on the grass, and he was not scoring that time? The count goes to 2-0.
And we talked about it a couple days ago. When you do put that bunt on for the first pitch, and even if you're not intending to get it down, when you draw that infield in, cuts down their range. Now the third baseman, even Malone, has to play in front of the bag, which gives Honeyman more room to work with on the infield if he pulls the ball to the left side.
So now it's a 2-0 count, and the Braves killer, Travis Honeyman, with a chance to open this lead up. 3-0.
And Willis is going to have to get back into it right here. Third inning of work, which is more than he ever was tasked to do at school ball this year at UConn. Currently 22 strikes to 20 balls, so command has been a little bit back and forth for him so far this evening, and now behind 3-0 to a really good hitter in Honeyman.
Cameron Bye's been tossing for a while in the Braves bullpen. You got to think he is ready to go, as this might be the last batter Willis faces, barring a pop-out or a double play. The 3-0 in there as he goes to the slider behind of the count to make it 3-1.
After missing with the fastball a couple of times, trying to get back in there with another breaking pitch. A lot of confidence in it.
Honeyman has 3 extra base hits against the Braves this season. Looking for his first knock tonight and an opportunity to break his 2-for-21 slump. 3-1. Down and in. It's a walk, and the bases are loaded without a ball being hit out of the infield, with nobody out in the 8th.
And it looks like here comes Scott Landers, and this may be it for Willis tonight. Now 23 strikes to 21 balls thrown. And that's a tough break for Willis, who was really sharp in his first 2 innings of work, and now is responsible for all 3 runners on right here. As it looks like it's up to Cameron Bye. We mentioned it the last time he was out, Calvin. Hasn't gotten too many high leverage opportunities. Well, here you go. Bases loaded, nobody out, up by 1. Got to keep it that way.
Willis had a really good outing tonight in the 6th, in the 7th, but has run into some trouble here on the 8th. Partially not his fault, but the Firebirds have loaded the bases with nobody out. They look to take a firm grasp of this ball game when we come back on the Born Braves Television Network.
43 of the Braves' 44 regular season games this summer will take place on the Cape, but for the first time ever on July 25th, Polar Park, home of the Worcester Red Sox, will host a Cape Cod League game when the Bravos take on the Wareham Gatemen at 6:45. Gates open at 5:45, and admission is $10 to watch the Braves take on a West Division rival on an even greater stage.
The Braves are the reigning champs of the Cape Cod League West Division, but the West in 2022 is loaded again and as wild as ever. With 6 games against Hyannis, Wareham, Falmouth, and West Division runner-up Cotuit, it's a packed slate against division foes thirsty for revenge. To check out where and when the division matchups go down, head to our website, bornbraves.org, and check out the Bravos' full schedule.
After COVID-19 canceled the 2020 season and shortened 2021, this year will be the first since 2019 with a full 44-game schedule and an 8-team playoff. That means you can catch the Braves squaring off with each team in the West 6 times and each team in the East 4 times. It's a jam-packed slate for the Braves in 2022, and you can check out the squad's complete schedule on our website, bornbraves.org.
BornBraves.org, the official website of the Bourne Braves, is your one-stop shop for everything Bravos. From directions to the ballpark, the full game schedule, team information, game recaps, roster news, and more. BornBraves.org is the place to go for information on your favorite team on the Cape.
This is Born Braves Baseball on the Born Braves Radio Network. You can listen to all 22 Braves regular season contests away from Doran Park here on our YouTube live stream. Can't make it to Chatham? 2-1 out for Wareham? Too busy for Brewster? Not to worry. Just search the Born Braves on YouTube. Sit back, relax, and enjoy a summer night listening to your favorite team on the Cape.
This is Ryan Fisher, right-handed pitcher, New Jersey Institute of Technology. Go Born Braves.
So the bases are loaded here in the 8th. Nobody out for Orleans. And the Firebirds trying to open this game back up. They led 3-0 in the first inning. The Braves rallied back with 2 in the 4th. The scores remain the same, 3-2 cents. And Cameron Bye is out of the bullpen trying to clean up the mess. And you can't think of a better guy to try to do that, because Bye has been special to this point in the season.
9 2/3 of an innings work, 6 strikeouts to 2 walks, and again is not allowed a run so far. His last outing against Falmouth went 3 1/3, just 1 hit, no walks.
Furman is the batter. He is 1 for 3 on the night with that triple into the gap he launched in the first inning. Trying to do his best Trey Turner impression, who was just named the National League starter at shortstop in the All-Star game, and clear the bases here in the 8th. A left-handed batter. Watches a fastball miss below the zone. It's gone to 1-1.
If he can hit one into that alley in right center field, you know everyone's going to be off to the races right here, especially with Honeyman's speed over there at first base.
Well, we've already seen Furman show off the Jets tonight when he roped one into that gap in the first. Braves infield is in. They've had an uncanny amount of infield in groundouts that have made plays at the plate into outs this season. Looking for another one in the worst of ways here. But Bai has fallen behind Furman here 2-1.
And there was that sharp breaking ball, a lot of 12-6 action on it. Again, trying to induce that ground ball to the pull side. Would love one to Shaw or Brito right now to get that force at the plate.
Orleans has just 1 hit since the first inning. It came in this frame on a bunt single. And a good count to get a little bit more than just a base hit here. The count goes to 3-1 on Nate Furman. A guy who launched a pair of home runs, had 23 RBIs this season for UNC Charlotte. Trying to crack this game open as Orleans tries to beat the Bravos for the first time this season. Nowhere to put him. The 3-1 pitch coming to the Firebirds second baseman. Popped into the infield. Will this stay in play? Going over is Malone, and he runs out of room. It's into the Braves dugout for a harmless foul ball.
That was a really good spot by Bai right there. Pitch up maybe an inch or two up out of the zone, but was able to get it in on the hands of Furman right there, get him to pop it up. Again, a really hard pitch to get on top of, especially with the ride on Bai's fastball.
The Wichita State reliever trying to shock the Firebirds and get out of this inning unscathed. Has a lot of work to do. The full count pitch with nobody out of the 8th. Here it is. Up the middle, that is a base hit. Coming home to score is Stinson. Burns is right behind him. He will score, and it is 5-2 Orleans as the runners move up a base apiece on the errant throw, and the Birds have cracked the nut on this game and are in a spot to do some more damage with 2 runners back in scoring position and still nobody out.
And what a game for Nate Furman now after coming in 1 for his last 15. He's picked up 2 hits, a triple, and then a 2 RBI single right there with 2 strikes. And you said it, break the floodgates open right here. That's some breathing room that the Firebirds have been looking for all night long. And they're not done yet with Keishel coming to the plate, still nobody out.
And Keishel is the reigning Cape League Player of the Week for last week. Hit .450 a week ago with 3 extra base hits and 2 runs driven in. 0 for 2 in the night with a sac fly that came back in the first. Seeing Bai for the first time, who delivers a first pitch strike as they issue an error on the throw by Carson Rockefort coming into home plate, allowing Honeyman and Furman to grab third and second respectively.
I was going to say that's a big play right there because that takes the double play out of order as well.
By hunting a strikeout, he needs it in the worst of ways here. Is ahead of Keishel 0-2.
And for him this year, 6 strikeouts through 9 2/3 of an innings work, so it hasn't been too much of his game so far. Going to induce a lot of balls in the air with that hard fastball, but could really use a ground ball or a strikeout right here.
The infield back in for the Braves, the 0-2. In the dirt. Keishel thought about it, but kept the hands back. It's gone to 1-2. Orleans scored 3 runs in the first inning on a triple in a sac fly by the batter Keishel, then back-to-back home runs by Sim and Humphrey, who both wait on deck. 2 runs coming home here on the 8th on the 2-run RBI knock by Nate Furman, who leads off a second. Keishel looking for more as Orleans looks to put a stamp on this ballgame. But the pitch by Bai is a breaking ball that gets the outside corner, and Keishel is caught looking. What a big-time pitch that is, and 1 is gone here in the 8th.
As you could see on your screens, Keishel did not like the call right there, but nonetheless, a sharp breaker from Bai. That's his go-to pitch right there, the curveball. just biting that outside corner, and you said it, a huge spot now, as he's a third of the way through keeping this a 3-run deficit.
Runners on second and third. Do you ponder walking Kevin Sim in?
I was going to say you have Humphrey after him, who did hit the home run back in the first inning, and is a left-handed hitter, the righty up in Kim. But it would set up the force at all bags and a chance to turn 2 to get out of it without any more runs scoring.
Well, looks like Bai is content on pitching to the San Diego third baseman, a guy who's burned the Braves for a couple of home runs in their matchups this year. The first a couple Saturdays ago at Eldridge Park, and then one tonight in the first inning into the Braves bullpen on a moonshot out to left field. Hits this one off the end of the bat into shallow center. Let's see if they'll test the arm of Roccaforte. He makes the catch. Honeyman's coming home. The throw is not in time. Honeyman scores standing up, and it is a 6-2 Firebirds lead in the 8th inning.
And a good approach right there from Sim. Got a pitch over the heart of the plate about chest high. Got underneath it to elevate it just deep enough into medium depth center field. Again, the throw is not nearly in time to retire Honeyman. So an RBI for Sim. He now has 9 on the season, 2 on the night, as the Firebirds continue to expand the lead here.
So 2 are gone, 3 are in. As Isaac Humphrey looks for his second hit of the night, trying to bring in the runner in Furman from second. By his first pitch, downstairs, ball 1. So the Braves have a lot of work to do when they come to home plate in the bottom half of this inning. They'll have 4, 5, 6, Slight, Hensler, and Malone due up, hoping to be trailing by 4 runs, not anything more.
And those 2 runs inherited by Bai, so they won't be charged to him, but instead Willis, who of course started this inning. But a tough break for Bai because this was really his first opportunity to pitch in a high-leverage spot and couldn't help Willis get out of it. Nonetheless, was still able to get a couple outs.
This one's cranked down the first baseline, but foul. It's just a loud strike as the count goes to 1-2. And you got to feel for Willis a little bit, too. This is a guy who mowed down his first 2 innings, faced 7 batters to get 6 outs, and then in this inning, got up 0-2 on the leadoff man Stinson. Tried to come inside on a pitch on the inside corner and hit the front hip of the batter. And then a bunt misplayed by the catcher Frick. A single by Burns. Then a walk to Honeyman low to the bases ended his night. All 3 of those runners have since come around to score, as Orleans looks for one more here on the 8th.
And there was that breaky ball again, just getting a piece of it was Humphrey right there. You could see the catcher and Frick pound his glove right there. Really good pitch. Humphrey doing a good job of spoiling it.
So 2 are gone, 3 are home. Bai looking to end this 8th inning and keep the Braves deficit held to just 4. Humphrey looking for his second RBI of the night. He homered to bring in the 3rd run of the Firebirds in the 1st inning. The pitch is skied into shallow left field, drifting into foul territory. All 3 guys going after it, and it falls in between the Bermuda Triangle of Slight, Peck, and Malone for a foul ball harmlessly in short left field.
And a good effort by all 3 of them down there. Thought Malone initially was going to have a chance to get it, but again, just kept carrying on him. And then Slight had the best angle right there, but just couldn't get there in time. So a good battle put up right here by Humphrey, and again, for the Firebirds, just looking to add on to the scoreboard right here, a team that we mentioned over the last 5-6 games has been limited to 2 runs or less in 2 of those. And it looked like it was going to be another similar result tonight after being shut out for 6 consecutive innings after that 3-run first. I mean, if you look at yesterday, even 8 shutout innings until the 9th against Falmouth. So good for Kelly Nicholson's club to get back offensively here tonight.
Buys 1-2, misses just below the zone. It's gone to 2-2. Coach Nicholson posted this lineup before 7 o'clock this morning, and it's panned out for 6 runs on 5 hits. As the Firebirds offense, who scored just 6 runs in its past, instead 8 runs in its past 6 games, has dropped a 6th spot on the Braves tonight. But Cameron Bai keeps it right there as he punches out Humphrey on the up and away changeup. And we're going to the bottom of the 8th. Braves with a ton of work to do, down by 4 with 6 outs to play with on the Born Braves Television Network.
Okay, fans, it's time to announce the winners
You know what Pete Alonso, Kevin Youkilis, and Lou Merloni all have in common? Go ahead, take a guess. Yeah, that's right. They're all former Bourne Braves. The list of famous Bravo alumni is lengthy and it's growing fast. Take 2021 Major League Baseball first overall pick Henry Davis, for example. He was on the Cape just 3 summers ago, back in 2019. So make sure you don't miss out on watching the future stars of tomorrow today. Admission to all games at Doran Park and around the Cape Cod League is free. For the full Braves schedule, head to the Bravos team website, bournebraves.org.
Did you know it takes $150,000 to field the Braves every summer? We are a non-profit, all-volunteer organization that relies solely on the donations of private citizens and local businesses. The Bourne Braves are a 501c organization, and all donations are tax deductible. You can donate today online at bournebraves.org.
This is Nelson Berkwich, left-handed pitcher from Vanderbilt University, and this is Braves baseball.
The Braves have work to do here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Orleans, with a 3 spot in the top half of this frame, has extended the Firebirds' lead to 6-2. The Braves with just 6 outs to play with, and will send 4-5-6 Slight, Hensler, and Malone to bat here in the home half of the 8th.
And they're going to have to get something going here. The good news is you have Slight coming to the plate, who's reached base all 3 times and has been swinging it better than anyone here on this ball club, and then Hensler and Malone to follow.
Hopfe on the mound had a really quick and smooth 1-2-3 7th inning. Got a first pitch pop-up off the bat of Jones and then punched out Shaw and Brito, arguably 2 of the Braves' best bats to end the frame. A guy who can finish this game has already had a 3-inning performance under his belt this year. But a 9-out save, even though it's not a save situation now with the Firebirds leading by 4, would definitely be another feather in this guy's cap, who's had a really good start to his Cape year.
And he's been used a lot. 13 1/3 of an innings work coming into tonight. This is his 7th outing, so a guy that Kelly Nicholson has relied a lot on.
Has climbed ahead of Slight 1-2. And if he can strike out Shaw, Brito, and Slight in order, what the accomplishment that would be. A trio that went 7 for 12 yesterday in Katuitt. Slight, the only Brave tonight that hasn't been retired. A walk and 2 singles on his ledger, the 2-2. 3-2.
And again, while 4 runs might feel a lot after an inning in the top half of this frame, seem to have deflated at least the fans here at the stadium at Doran Park. This is the team that was able to push across 12 yesterday.
3-2 is clubbed to center, but this is shallow. Honeyman started in, now going back, and it burned him. It 2-hops the wall out there. Slight cruises into second, and he's in with a double to start this inning. As good as a night Travis Honeyman has played in center field. He got lost with that ball coming right at him in center, and it went over his head for a 2-bagger. And you don't get much hotter than Evan Slight right now. He is 3 for 3 and on to begin this inning.
And when things are going well, you catch breaks like that. Not quite sure if it was the wind that is gusting out towards left center or the twilight or a little bit of both right there, but not too many times you see Honeyman fooled like that. And that's a break for the Braves here. They got to build off of it.
I'm sure Coach Tanzer would take this, that we've already had an outfield coaching talk, but Honeyman took his first step in, which is never a good sign. So a runner in scoring position as the Braves look to battle back, down by 4 in the 8th. And here is Wyatt Hensler, who's 1 for 3 on the night, had a bloop broken bat base hit in the 4th inning and came around to score the Braves' 2nd run.
And hopefully that's the one that gets him going. Sometimes you just need a little bleeder to drop in for you.
Hopfe seems relatively unfazed by that double by Slight. He's come back on Hensler and has delivered 2 really good pitches, both on the black. And the count has gone to 0-2. Hensler batting with a wide open gap on the right side of the infield as the second baseman Furman is covering Slight on. The 0-2. Just below the zone, 1-2.
And a really close spot right there. A really good take from Hensler, who's had a good idea of the strike zone so far this year. Got a heater, just an inch or 2 below the knees. See a lot of hitters chase that pitch, maybe roll it onto the ground, but he took it gets another opportunity right here.
Braves trying to string some hits together, down by 4 in the late innings. Pitch is on the outside corner. Hensler is caught looking, and that is a big-time strikeout by Hopfe to retire the first batter here in the 8th.
You can see Hensler is very upset with that call right there. That looked to, at least from our angle, maybe be a couple inches off the plate, but nonetheless was called strike 3, and that's a big out for Hopfe, as now he gets to face Malone with 1 down.
It's been a consistent pitcher-friendly strike zone by our home plate umpire, Mike Finn, tonight. That call has been awarded to both sides, as the first pitch to Malone is popped foul, drifting out of play, and it will hit off the screen back there for strike 1. A good effort by Connor Burns, who thinks he can make every single play, and why shouldn't he, with his defensive accolades, but couldn't get that one as Malone stays alive, and we'll get another life here down to the count 0-1.
Another life, a big theme in this inning. We saw Slight get the double, and Malone now looking for an opportunity to take advantage of that break right there as well.
Malone got his second RBI in a Braves uniform back in the 4th, looking for his 3rd here in the 8th. Pitch is at the knees on the inside corner for strike 2. So after allowing that double, misplayed by the center fielder Honeyman, Hopfe on the mound has climbed ahead of his second straight batter, now 0-2. He punched out Hensler looking, trying to do the same to Malone. But he'll have to wait another pitch as that one buzzes inside. The count goes to 1-2.
And for Hopfe this year at Fresno State, quite a slate for him. 31 games offensively, hit .280. Of course, we mentioned he's a catcher as well, including 3 long balls, and then also tossed 41 innings, hoisting a 2.81 ERA. So he could do it both. Majority of his workload has been on the mound this summer for the Firebirds, but still a guy who could do it on both ends. You see a lot of two-way guys, but pretty special to see a two-way guy that's also a catcher as well, so you're doubling up with that battery mindset.
We saw Cam Jones, the two-way pitcher. The last guy before Hopfe out of the bullpen for Orleans. He
Kyle
tossed
Carr,
a couple
the
of really
starter
good
as well.
innings. And Carr. So it's a two-way night at the Doran Park as the pitch misses away, and a wave and a miss by Malone sets him down on strikes. And the two-ways are having the way with the Braves lineup as 2 are gone here in the 8th.
A lot of 2s tonight. So here's Carson Roccaforte. Hopefully that double that he picked up back in the 4th inning, his first extra base of the year, can get something going for him right now. If they could drive in Slight right now, you could, at the very least, enter the bottom of the 9th, down by 3, assuming a 0 is put on the board in the top of the 9th. And we've seen the Braves push across multiple runs late before. Gotta hope, if you're a Braves fan, that this is another one of those evenings.
Slight leads off at second base. 2 are gone in the inning. The pitch to Roccaforte. Misses down and in. He did not go around. Says Mickey Garcia, our third base umpire tonight, and the count goes to 2-0 on the Braves outfielder.
So a good count for him to get something to hit right here. Again, on the double he hit earlier was a fastball at the top of the zone. We'll see if Hopfe goes back up there.
2-0 is in there for a strike. And how about this development? We talked about it when we went around the Cape. Chatham looking for their first road victory of the season. Brewster came back in that game and tied it 4-4. And then after 7 innings, the game ended due to darkness. No lights at Stony Brook Field. So Chatham will have to wait a little bit longer to get that first road win as they drop or improve, depending on how you look at it, to 5-14-5 on the year.
And that's tough for Brewster, too. Of course, you'll take the tie instead of the loss, but you got to imagine the momentum was going their way in that game, and they probably felt as if they could have won that game.
None of those games at the Fields Without Lights went in the full 9 tonight. The 3-1 to Roccaforte. A ball that missed below the zone, but he took a swing at it, says Garcia, and the count will go full. Wareham beat Katuitt 7-2 in 8 innings at Low Park. Harwich and YD only went 7. They tied 6-6. The 4-4 tie between Chatham and Brewster went 7. In the Field with Lights at Gov Fuller Field in Falmouth, Hyannis with a 4-1 lead in the top of the 8th. Braves down 6-2 here with 2 gone in the 8th. Slight leads off second as the Braves try to battle back. The pitch. Chop to second. Here comes Furman. Gets it on the in-between hop and makes the throw to the first baseman Kiesel to retire the side here in the 8th. Hopvy's been very good out of that Firebirds bullpen, and his team leads at 6-2 as the Braves try to keep this a 4-run deficit and then try to come back from a 4-run deficit when we return to the Bourne Braves television network.
The Bourne Braves organization is looking for families willing to host 1 or 2 players for the Cape League season. It generally runs from the first week in June to early August, and the bond between many host families and their players extend beyond the summer and form lifelong friendships. If you're interested in learning more about this opportunity, visit bournebraves.org.
Braves fans living on the Cape far from Doran Park? Too far of a drive to make the trip west on any given night? Well, don't worry, because the Braves are coming to you. The Bravos' full slate of games includes trips to all East destinations, including Orleans, Chatham, Brewster, Harwich, and Yarmouth, as well as West Division road trips to Cotuit, Hyannis, down south to Falmouth, and off Cape to Wareham. So wherever you are located on Cape Cod, the Braves will be in your area and are a can't-miss family fun activity. To see the Bravos' full schedule, head over to our website, bournebraves.org, and come join the fun.
This is Seth Keener from Wake Forest, right-handed pitcher, and this is Bourne Braves baseball.
Braves down 4 as we play into the 9th inning here at Doran Park, and Cameron Bye's job is simple. Keep the Braves trailing by that margin for his team to bat in the bottom of the 9th. To do that, he'll face the Orleans part of the lineup that is 6, 7, and 8. Knight, Bulger, and Stinson due up in the frame.
And inherited a really tough spot for Justin Willis back in the 8th inning, of course. A lot of traffic on the base paths, allowed the 2-run single to Furman, was able to bounce back at the strikeout, then Sim flew out, but drove in the run with the sacrifice fly. Of course, blowing this game open. Now gets a clean slate right here. And that was really the first time we've seen him inherit a really tough spot. And again, I don't think he did that terrible of a job. Of course, you go back to the Furman single, and that's the big blow right there. But again, bounced back pretty quickly after that. And if he had given up the single to Furman, and then we see the strikeout and the fly ball out to Sim, he's able to get out of that jam.
Orleans, though, was able to scratch 3 of those runners across home plate as they extend their lead to its largest of the night, 6-2, as we're in the top of the 9th. This game will be one of 2 that goes 9 innings tonight around the league, which is an interesting thought to have.
Also, 2 ties again today. So the ties continue here in the Cape Cod League. Already broke the record, if I'm correct there, right?
Yeah, at the halfway point of the season. The Braves tonight, when you look at it, would love tie number 7, down 6-2 here in the 9th.
That's when a tie feels like a win, for sure.
They would need to rally big time in the home half of this inning. That's assuming they're only down by 4. 3-1 pitch coming tonight, the shortstop who's been quiet this evening. 3-2.
And you'll have 8, 9, and 1 due up. You got to imagine that Scott Landers will be going to his bench. Peck did just hit the triple his last time up, so maybe he gives him another opportunity. But Nunez not available, of course, after being scratched earlier. You have Eblin, who's pieced together some really good at-bats over the last couple nights. Josh Moylan available as well.
This one's rolled to short. Here comes Peck. 1 gone. So it'll be some interesting decisions by Scott Landers. I think you have to let Peck lead off after roping a triple last time up. He's been on base his past 2 at-bats. Tomas Frick is another story, 1 for 16 in a Braves uniform. I think the situation, though, will dictate whether the Braves catcher gets his 4th at-bat tonight or not, whether Peck is on base or not.
Absolutely, and I think you could try to save Moylan for a big spot if you could string across a couple of runners, because if the bases get loaded, you could have him come up and represent the tying run. But then again, at that point, if the first 3 runners reach, you have Matt Shaw, Chris Brito, and Evan Slight due up with the bases loaded, so maybe goes to Moylan earlier on in that frame as well, just to try and get something going.
Moylan may be visualizing an at-bat tonight. I don't know if you saw pregame, as this one's tapped to second. Here is Shaw, who makes the play. As that bat snapped in half, the handle from Bulger stayed in the batter's box in the barrel, flew all the way on the other side of the field. I was like, why did he throw his bat over there? Then I looked down, and the handle of the bat is sitting in the left-handed batter's box. But back to the point on Moylan, I don't know if you saw earlier, they were doing some VR.
Oh,
some
they
visual
were.
reality of the
I
Braves
did not
bullpen.
see that.
So maybe Moylan was down there on his off night visualizing hitting a base hit. A potential pinch hit option for Coach Landers in the bottom of the ninth inning. By looking to get it there, still down just 4 runs. 2 are gone here in the visiting half of the ninth. And here is Jacob Stinson, who started the rally for our leads in the 8th after Justin Willis hit him with a pitch at 0-2.
And that's one pitch I think Willis, Landers, and the rest of the Braves staff will be looking back on tonight, because this is a completely different bottom of the ninth inning coming up. Of course, if you're just trailing by 1 run, because then you have the opportunity to pinch hit Moylan representing that tying run, or the winning run potentially if there's Peck over on first base, or just at least reaching. But instead now down by 4, that inning got away from them, and it's the one frame you're going to probably look back on for the rest of the night. You could say so about the first as well, but you got to give this pitching staff a ton of credit for bouncing back.
2-1 is hit softly into center, but dunking down for a base hit. As it's the first hit of the night for Jacob Stinson, who's on with 2 gone in the 9th.
And he needed that. Entering this plate appearance was 1 for his last 19. 8 for 51 in total on the season, so hopefully that gets something going for him. It's now a chance for Burns, who bunted a single down the first base line back his last at-bat. So it's now 2 for 25 to open up the year. And we mentioned it with Hensler, just mentioned it with Stinson. But Burns as well, maybe that bunt. Light some fire and get something going for him.
First pitch is in there for a strike. It's just that bleeder that sometimes breaks you out of a rut. And Burns would love to turn this lineup over for Travis Honeyman, who is hitless. And one of the most shocking things you'll hear tonight, with the Firebirds in the lead 6-2.
And imagine how much more valuable it makes Burns if he can get it going offensively, because we spoke to his defensive prowess already, and you said it as well earlier on the broadcast. Hit a $162 this year at Cal State Long Beach, just showing you how important he is and pivotal he is defensively speaking, that they kept him in the lineup for the majority of the season. If he could get things going offensively, you have a super valuable two-way piece.
He's fallen behind in the count 1-2 as Cameron By tries to pitch a scoreless 9th inning. Burns has already punched out once in this game tonight. Is now 2 for 24 in the campaign, but has only struck out 4 times, so he's putting the ball in play. The runner is going, but it's not going to matter, as a foul tip into the mitt ends this inning, as By retires Burns on strikes, and we go to the bottom of the 9th with the Braves trailing at 6-2, and a ton of work ahead of them when we come back to close this one out on the Born Braves television network.
43 of the Braves' 44 regular season games this summer will take place on the Cape, but for the first time ever on July 25th, Polar Park, home of the Worcester Red Sox, will host a Cape Cod League game when the Bravos take on the Wareham Gatemen at 6:45. Gates open at 5:45, and admission is $10 to watch the Braves take on a West Division rival on an even greater stage.
The Braves are the reigning champs of the Cape Cod League West Division, but the West in 2022 is loaded again and as wild as ever. With 6 games against Hyannis, Wareham, Falmouth, and West Division runner-up Katuitt, it's a packed slate against division foes thirsty for revenge. To check out where and when the division matchups go down, head to our website, bornbraves.org, and check out the Bravos' full schedule.
After COVID-19 canceled the 2020 season and shortened 2021, this year will be the first since 2019 with a full 44-game schedule and an 8-team playoff. That means you can catch the Braves squaring off with each team in the West 6 times and each team in the East 4 times. It's a jam-packed slate for the Braves in 2022, and you can check out the squad's complete schedule on our website, bornbraves.org.
Scott Landers is the new man in charge in Bourne. The new Braves field manager is in his first year at the helm at the Bravos and brings with him an exciting staff that includes World Series champion Jared Saltalamacchia. It's an exciting new regime of Bourne Braves baseball, and it's a team you're going to want to see for yourself. Go to bornbraves.org for the full schedule.
Tomahawk Talk is the official pregame and postgame analysis of the Bourne Braves. Hosted by the Bravos broadcast team, Tomahawk Talk provides pregame insights on game day on what Braves fans can expect to see that night. And after the game, the crew breaks down the matchup that was and looks ahead to what to expect tomorrow. It's Tomahawk Talk, and you can find it on game days on the Braves YouTube site, as well as at Bourne Braves on Twitter.
On our way back to Doran Park, it's time for some more Bourne Braves baseball.
3 outs to play in this one. The Braves need 4 runs as they trail at 6-2 in the bottom of the 9th inning. Trying to avoid dropping back down to 500, a plateau they really haven't seemed to counter by more than 1 or 2 games all year. To close it out is not a safe situation with the Bravos up by 4, but it very well can turn into one if they get a run across home plate. So Orleans goes to Chris Clark, another Harvard guy who the Braves seem to run into every time they're on the field.
And he's been used a lot by Kelly Nicholson so far this summer. 7 outings, 7 1/3 of innings work, 11 strikeouts to 3 walks in that span, 2.45 ERA right here. And if you're the Braves, again, a 4-run deficit's tough to come back by, but if Peck, Moylan, who's on deck, and Jones in the hole can reach, you bring the tying right up to the plate with Matt Shaw. So that is something to look for here in this frame.
Definitely some hoops to jump through for the Braves to get to that point. But not a guy I'd rather have due up 4th in this inning than Matt Shaw. It all starts with John Peck, who's having a pretty decent night. 1 for 2, a triple back in the 6th, was stranded on 3rd. He also walked in the 4th. Seeing Clark for the first time, who comes to the plate on a 1-1 pitch. That's down low for ball 2.
And Peck smacked that ball out to right center field past the diving Honeyman back in that 6th inning. One of the hardest balls we've seen him hit. And again, the other way as well. That one a little bit more straight away, but slicing towards the right center field gap has showed a lot of power in that direction.
Good pitch that time by Clark as it goes to 2-2. Orleans going to their trusted arms tonight. Hopfe made his 7th appearance, pitched the 7th in the 8th, and here's Clark in his 8th appearance, pitching the 9th. Braves would love a base runner to start this frame in a 4-run hole. But they won't get one as Peck takes a wave and a miss at a breaking ball, and he's down on strikes for the first out of this inning.
That was nasty right there from Clark. Sweeping breaking ball that Peck was well out in front of.
Catcher number 4 out of North
So now that brings up Josh Moylan.
So here's Josh Moylan pinch hitting for the catcher Tomas Frick.
Correction, pinch hitting for Frick. Number 32 out of East Carolina, Josh Moylan.
Moylan last night with a home run. That's probably still ringing the Low Park foul pole. Hits it in the same spot tonight. It would probably be a no-doubt home run with Froggy's pole pushed a little bit more to the right than the 325 pole in Katuitt. His job, though, is just to keep the line moving as the Braves need base runners in a 4-run hole with 1 gone here in the bottom of the 9th inning. First pitch comes down and in, and it hits Moylan right off the purple shin guard he's rocking on his front left foot. So he'll be on first base to start this Braves rally with 1 out in the 9th.
Welcome to the ball game, just like that. And again, Clark overthrowing a heater right there that got him right in the front toe, it looked like. It looks like he's all right, which is the good news. And now you flip over the lineup for the 5th time tonight. Jones gave it a ride out to deep center field his last time up. And again, never say never. Braves still in this game, 2 outs to work with, but just need some base runners here, and you have a really hot-hitting first half of your order due up here.
So here is Carson Jones looking for his first hit, 0 for 4 in his Braves debut. A broken bat base hit up the middle. It sneaks through into center field. Moylan goes station to station. He'll stop at second. So the Braves now with 2 base runners on as Jones breaks his bat but gets a single for his first hit in a Braves uniform.
And that bat was snapped. Shades of the broken bat we just saw a half inning ago, but that's a big play right there. The shortstop at night was just about straight up. Surprised he wasn't ranging a little bit more up the middle in double play depth. This one just an inch or 2 out of his reach as he dove towards his left. And now here comes Matt Shaw. You got Brito on deck, Slight after that. Real good spot coming for the Braves if they're going to pull off some magic tonight.
The tying run waits on deck. Matt Shaw tries to keep the train rolling downhill with one out in the bottom of the ninth. Peck struck out to start this inning. Then Moylan was the first pitch he saw coming in off the bench as a pinch hitter. Then a broken bat seeing-eye single by Carson Jones has put runners on first and second. Shaw is due after a 4-for-5 afternoon last night. He's 0 for 4 to start this game. 2 strikeouts, a pop-out, and a fielder's choice.
And I said it earlier, but 2, 3, and 4 yesterday in the Braves lineup, 7 for 12 with 3 homers and 9 RBIs. You got them due up right here in order.
Shaw skies this one, but shallow into center. Now Honeyman has to come in, no doubt about that. And he makes the catch to retire Shaw and grab the second out of the ninth.
Boy, oh boy, did he just miss that one right there, hitting that one up towards the moon. So 2 down now. And your last hope is Chris Brito, who is looking to get off the schneid tonight, 0 for 4, and has struck out twice in his last 2 plate appearances.
Brito's run still doesn't mean anything. The only run that matters is Evan Slight, who awaits on deck. But can the Braves extend the inning and at least bring the tying run to home plate? First pitch to Brito. Swing and a miss on a slider, strike 1. Brito also hitless tonight. Pretty similar line to his teammate Shaw. A couple of strikeouts, a pop-out, and a ground-out. Hits this one into the right center field alley. No one's going to catch this. It's got a ticket to the wall. Coming home to score is Moreland. Jones is being waved around. He will score. And at the very least, the Bravos are making this game interesting as the tying run will come to home plate with 2 gone in the ninth.
And what a nice piece of hitting by Chris Brito. Staying inside this one, seeing it deep, and hitting a hard line drive into that right center field alley, which has gotten a lot of action so far this evening. Honeyman, the center fielder, tried to slide to cut it off before it got to the wall. Then it got by him. For a second there, I thought Brito was going to try and advance to third, but we've seen him make a couple of base running mistakes earlier in the year. And again, with 2 outs in this game, his run doesn't necessarily matter whether he's on second or third. And now you have Evan Slight, the hottest hitter on this planet, with a chance to tie this game up with 1 swing of the bat.
So hold your horses. Don't automatically start the car yet. Here's Evan Slight, who hasn't been out tonight. 3 for 3, a single and a run scored in the 4th, a single in the 5th, and a double in the 8th. His 4th hit would be really big right now, and it would be even bigger if it gets out over the wall. 1-1.
Took a big rip at a breaking ball down and away right there. Again, everything has been to his pull side essentially over the last week or so, so Clark's going to pound him away right here, trying to get him to roll over something.
Braves trying to muster some magic in the ninth. Can Evan Slight be the hero and keep this line moving or tie this game? The 1-1. 2-1.
Continuing to stay away right there, and you got Wyatt Hensler on deck. The guy who's looking to break out, and I wouldn't be surprised if Clark is a little bit careful here with Slight. If he does put him on, you bring the winning run to the plate, and you don't want to do that. But got to be really careful here with Slight.
Slight with 2 home runs of the year on the year, neither of them coming here at Doran Park. 2-1 almost takes off the ankles of Wyatt Hensler, and the count will leave it at 2-2. The Orleans bullpen, who thought their night was over, is now suddenly starting to stir down behind the right field fence. Braves with 2 runs home in the 9th inning, but looking to keep this game going. Brito, who doubled home both of the runners in Moylan and Jones, waits on second as the 2-2 pitch comes to Evan Slight, who hasn't been out tonight. Here it is. Tap to second. This should do it. Furman has it in from short right field. He makes the throw to end this ball game. So the Braves make it close from start to finish, but they never lead in this game as Orleans goes wire to wire and beats the Bravos for the first time this season, 6-4. We welcome you back inside the broadcast booth. It was a fun one tonight. The Braves thought they might have had a little bit of magic down the stretch, but just too much Orleans offense, especially in that 8th inning, propelled the Birds to the win tonight.
And those are the 2 innings you're going to look back on, the 8th and the 1st. You got to give Ryan Fisher a ton of credit after giving up 3 runs and the 2 long balls in that 1st inning. Battled back for 4 scoreless innings afterwards. Justin Williams was really good tonight as well, going 2 scoreless innings, maybe was left out there an inning too long, of course, loaded the bases up. A tough one for the Braves. They're going to look back on the couple of decisions that were made, I think, because I think they had the ability to come back into this ball game. And look, those were the first runs that were given up against Clark in over a month now. Again, he had 5 consecutive scoreless outings, so good sign for them to battle back and show some fight there late, but they couldn't come back all the way.
Braves out-hit Orleans 9-5, but the loss was just rough around the edges. 2 errors compared to none for the Firebirds. That 8th inning was fluky, a little bit, a hit by pitch on an 0-2 count, then a bunt single that was perfectly placed by the catcher in Burns. A walk to Honeyman loaded the bases. That ended the night for Willis. Bided all he could as Orleans had just 1 hard-hit ball in that frame, an inning where they scored 3 and put a stamp on this victory here tonight. We'll step aside here for the final time on the Born Braves television network, and when we come back, Ethan Frank will have our player of the game down on the sidelines in just a couple of minutes.
For the 11th straight season, you can catch Cape Cod League Baseball on WEEI. The station will be home to 12 Cape League contests on the station's local affiliate 96.3 FM. The Braves will be on the airwaves twice in the regular season, first on July 3rd when the Bravos are in Wareham, and then on July 31st when Bourne welcomes Falmouth to Doran Park. Catch the Braves on live radio, but you can always watch or listen to the team live on the Bourne Braves YouTube channel. Just search Bourne Braves.
As a proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League, the Mass State Lottery is celebrating the games we love playing. From the Baseball Diamond to the many lottery games that help support all 351 cities and towns across the Commonwealth. So here's to 50 years of winning and 50 more.
Want to look like a Bravo? Well, there is one place where you can find the official gear of the Bourne Braves, and that is at the Bourne Braves Pro Shop. Open during every home game and located on the ground level of the press box, you can find Braves hoodies, t-shirts, hats, and more, all in just one place. Wear the same gear as the players and rep the Braves wherever you go. Visit the Braves Pro Shop today and let the rest of the Cape know you're repping the Bravos.
What's better than a summer night? A summer night with the Bourne Braves.
Braves fall tonight to Orleans 6-4 here at Doran Park. Back with Max Tanzer. I'm Calvin Cristoforo. I'm not Max Tanzer. That's not Calvin Cristoforo. The Bravos fall back to, you guessed it, 500 on the season, 9-9-6. Max, your final thoughts?
It's a tough one for the Braves, but they're going to have to bounce back tomorrow. They play Hyannis tomorrow evening, who they're right behind in the standings. An opportunity to gain some ground once again. A team they played very tightly their last time out as well.
So that should be a lot of fun tomorrow at McKeon Park. Those 2 teams have tied twice this season, both 1-1. Hopefully some runs come tomorrow, and a guy who's hopefully producing those runs, Evan Slight, who had a 3-for-4 night tonight, was on base 4 times, is down with Ethan Frank. He's tonight's player of the game.
Thanks, Calvin, here with Evan Slight, our Braves player of the game tonight. Unfortunately, in a loss, but a strong night at the plate for you. I don't want to as much focus on tonight as I do the last week or so of work for you, because we were talking before the game, and you talked about how much that sacrifice bunt against Chatham just a week ago really kickstarted what has been a really hot stretch for you. How does something as small as that help you on a bigger level?
You know, as you guys know, baseball is a team game, so it's important to play for your team. We come in here early every day, get our swings in, get our defensive work in. So like I said, really just been focusing on doing whatever I can to help the team. And it's, you know, some balls been dropping here or there. Just doing what I can to help.
When do you learn that team mentality? Because it feels like every time I ask someone in this dugout a question, it's about, I'm doing this for the team. Does that start at a young age? Is that something that continues to be preached as you get into the upper levels and now being here in the Cape League? But where does that start?
Definitely. For me, it's my parents have instilled that in me along with coaches as I've grown up. You know, I was lucky enough to play hockey and football as well. And, you know, it's just as important in those sports too. So, you know, we just want to compete at the end of the day. And that's kind of where I think a lot of these guys learn it from.
Obviously tonight a loss, but to an Eastern Division team, so not as harmful as it would be to a Western Division opponent. You guys are playing Hyannis for the second time in the span of 4 days tomorrow. How do you bounce back tomorrow as a team and you personally?
No doubt. As you know, we've been dealing with a lot of ties this year, so bouncing back hasn't been something.
What do you think of I'm going to cut you off. What do you think of the ties?
I mean, don't like to tie, those could be some wins, but I guess it's better than losing, but still, those are some games that we can win. And like I said, moving forward, we just got to bounce back, and we're going to. And, it's a long season, it's baseball, so.
Evan Slight, 4 for 5 tonight, 4 times on base, a double, a couple of singles, a walk, and that will do it for us. Evan, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you so much. Have a great night.
All right, that'll do it for us. You'll see Evan and the rest of the Braves back in Hyannis tomorrow for the second time in 4 days, as we mentioned, looking to get back in the win column. See everyone there.